Greetings from Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine, California. A heavyweight bout in the Western Conference playoffs tonight in the USL Championship. A semifinal between Orange County and Phoenix Rising, presented by Chick-fil-A, Woodbury Town Center. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse here with you. Here is what's at stake as we look at the Western Conference playoff bracket. The winner between Orange County and Phoenix has a trip to the Western Conference final in Sacramento.
Yeah, we've already seen some surprising results so far in these playoffs. Hopefully, we see another entertaining game tonight. Two teams really fighting to get to the next round.
These two teams have met in the playoffs before. A flashback to the 2018 Western Conference final played at the Champ. It was Phoenix's night. It was Didier Drogba's night as well.
Yeah, Didier Drogba's night. But when we look back to 2018, you're looking at Jordan Stewart, Sean Wright-Phillips, Matthew Watson, Omar Bravo, Didier Drogba, Solomon Asante. The list of players on that team was unbelievable.
Phoenix stormed the field and won their first ever piece of silverware. For Orange County, in the last round of this year's playoffs, they were led by Milan Alowski in his debut with a beautiful finish.
Yeah, I know we have a few more games to enjoy Milan Alowski before he heads off to Europe, but we know that this is one of the dangerous strikers in the past two seasons in the USL Championship. Expect to see nothing different tonight.
Orange County held El Paso to with no shots on target in the game, and it's no surprise that our Omega Accounting player to watch is indeed Milan Alowski.
Yeah, Milan Alowski has 17 goals this season, 39 goals in the two seasons that he's been playing in USL Championship, and he scored 6 goals in his past 5 games. Really a tremendous attacker.
We know how Orange County got here. Here's how Phoenix got into the conference semifinals. They played an instant classic against San Diego and won 4-3 in extra time.
Yeah, I think this game will go down in history. Formella here with a great finish in the last 2 minutes of additional time to take his team through to tonight's round, but this game was wide open, goals galore, lots of attacking play, exciting fixture. Expecting the same tonight.
Arguably the moment of the playoffs so far. We will see if tonight delivers that. And Derek Formella, not only with that goal, he had a tremendous contribution all night against San Diego. Phoenix will be hoping for the same this evening.
Yeah, it was one of his better performances. 2 goals in the last game. His team's going to need him to be as clinical as was. He came up in the big moments with the goals that really took them through to tonight's fixture.
Well, 2 Western Conference heavyweights step into the ring tonight in Irvine, California. There's only one spot left in the conference finals in the USL Championship. Either Orange County or Phoenix will get it, and the winner will head to Sacramento to play for a spot in the Cup. The kickoff is next.
From north to south,
east to west,
from Laguna Beach to Irvine,
de Buena Park a San Clemente,
and all 34 cities in between.
For the last 10 years, this has been
Orange County's own
entertainment, community,
Campeones, Colors,
Crest Pro Soccer Club.
Orange County's own Community Kit.
A few years ago, I was making cabinets and somebody gave this idea like, hey, why don't you make your beautiful doors to fit IKEA cabinets?
You know, we care about everything that goes into making a door or a panel or a cabinet. Designing a kitchen or even remodeling it, it's a difficult process. We're here to kind of bridge that gap between the vision and realizing that goal.
We're able to make everything in-house, handmade, handcrafted, beautiful product.
Here in Irvine, there's something for everyone. You can satisfy your sweet tooth here or here. Cool off with freshly picked berries or catch some rays. Get some post-worthy views or rock out with your friends. Raise your adrenaline or just relax. It's master planned with you in mind. Irvine awaits.
This match is presented by Chick-fil-A, Woodbury Town Center. By Hogue. And Omega Accounting Solutions, your ERC and tax specialist today, your trusted advisor tomorrow. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you. Let's dive into the Kimco staffing starting lineups for this Western Conference semifinal. For Orange County and Morton Carlson, here is the 11 led by Milana Lasky.
So much to be excited about in this lineup. As you mentioned, we keep mentioning every time Orange County play, we talk about Milana Lasky, but also have to talk about Amang's influence he's having on this team. An old school striker who can hold up the ball, allow players to get up and support him and create opportunities for his teammates. So he's been a key part of this team, but obviously Partida coming back as the number 6 in this team is very important tonight. He's part of the defensive structure, breaking up plays, covers a lot of ground, defensively very strong.
And for Juan Guerra's Phoenix Rising, maybe a notable absentee on the bench is Manuel Arteaga, but still plenty of rising firepower in the attack.
Yeah, and firepower in the attack is what's going to be key for them. We mentioned that keys to the game for them is going to be scoring the first goal, but you have Trejo, Formella, Arteaga. These are players that are all into double figures of goals for the season. A very, very productive attacking three. It's going to be really interesting if they can break down this Orange County defense that has been phenomenal so far this season with 3 clean sheets in their past 3 games.
We expect another tremendous atmosphere here at the Champ this evening. There is only one spot left in the USL Championship Conference Finals, and a trip to Sacramento is up for grabs as second-seeded Orange County hosts 6th-seeded Phoenix Rising. And we are moments away from the kickoff. Phoenix won here in 2018 to go to their first ever USL Championship Final. They're hoping that they can recreate the magic tonight. But of course, Orange County ran through the USL Championship here at the Champ back in 2021 to lift the cup in St. Petersburg. They are hoping to recreate that run this evening as well. The whistle goes. Orange County in their oranges get us started in the last conference semi-final on the schedule. And only one place remains in the Final Four of the USL Championship playoffs. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, thrilled to have you with us. It is buzzing here in Irvine, California. We can't wait for it. And of course, the winner will go to play Sac Republic for a place in the USL Championship Cup final.
Perfect part of the season where the temperatures drop down a little bit. It's a little bit cooler. The tempo of the game can be a little bit faster because players now don't suffer from dehydration and fatigue as quickly. Very exciting counter tonight. You can already tell in the opening minutes of this game, the tempo that it started at. It's an exhilarating, entertaining game to look forward to.
Lovely little bit of skill from Thomas Among, and our center referee this evening, Kalen Radisov, is awarding Orange County an early free kick inside of a minute. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Patterson Auto. Of course, we start with the great defensive work Orange County's brought to the postseason so far.
Yeah, Orange County, we always say defense wins championships, and they've managed to keep 3 clean sheets in their past 3 games, which is tremendous form going into the playoffs. If they can keep a clean sheet tonight, of course, they're likely to run away winners with Milana Lasky in the attack. He gets on the score sheet almost every game. However, Phoenix, when they've scored the first goal, they've won 11 games, lost 0, tied 4. So them getting the first goal is imperative to their success tonight.
Early set-piece opportunity here for Orange County. Rocco Rios Novo has had a tremendous season in goal for Phoenix. Just to make sure everybody's in the right spot, Marcus Nakim stands over this for Phoenix. I should say for Orange County, beg your pardon, along with Brian Alaski. This was Milana Lasky who scored from a set-piece to get Orange County past El Paso. Nakim will step up and strike this one for Orange County, but not enough venom and dip in the strike, and it's out for an early goal kick to Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, and we briefly spoke about Milana Lasky, and he'll be heading off to Europe at the end of this season, but I think it's also important to recognize how he scored his goals. It's been headers, it's been set pieces, it's been penalty kicks, it's been free kicks, he's been getting assists from corner kicks, it's been long distance shots, it's been tap-ins. He's been able to score goals from every single means of putting the ball in the back of the net. Sometimes strikers have one way of scoring goals. They just have an instinct of being in the box in the right moment and know where to be to tap in. But he scores goals if you give him time and space from distance. If he's inside the box, for sure he's going to finish. Free kicks, penalty kicks, any dead ball situation, he's deadly. This has been one of the top strikers in the USL Championship for the past 2 seasons, and I think he's going to be drastically missed by Orange County, but I think he's going to be drastically missed for USL fans right across the league.
Oh, so good build-up play there from Phoenix. Eddie Manjoma snuffed out on the far side, and Orange County do clear their lines. Of course, Phoenix have plenty of firepower themselves. We saw that on full display in San Diego last week. A brace for Derek Formella. Danny Trejo got in on it as well. Of course, Manuel Arteaga on the bench tonight will be a big part of it. And Panos Armanakis, who was also on the score sheet last time out, his addition to this group has been key as well for what Juan Guerra has been able to do. After Phoenix, of course, missed the playoffs entirely last season, Juan Guerra told us this week, as a reminder, 21 new players came into the fold during the offseason, and a couple during the season of those 21 as well. And here's Phoenix, one step away from getting back to where they expect to be, which is in a conference final.
Yeah, of course, the fans of this organization have extremely high expectations, given what they've had here in the past and the players that they've had in the past. I think we briefly touched in the introduction about 2018.
Oh, a chance here for Phoenix on the break. Danny Trejo, a tremendous season, looks to cut and find some space. He gets to the byline, crossed into the middle, is blocked, and it's a chance to see Dylan Powers clear the lines for Orange County. A cheeky little back heel from Milan Olaski could get Orange County on their way on the break. And the referee brings this back. Among brought down away from the ball as Brian Olaski sent it ahead, and it's an Orange County free kick.
Trejo did well in that attack there. You imagine if his first touch was a little bit better, he could have got the shot off himself, but he did well to keep possession of the ball, take on the defender, drill the ball into the box, but just nobody there to get any connection in it. But I had the feeling there, if his first touch was better, he would have been testing the goalkeeper there from that distance.
18 goals for Danny Trejo this season in the USL Championship. Manuel Arteaga with 15, Formella with 12, not all of those, of course, with Phoenix, some of those with his former employers, Oakland Roots. And Armanakis has 5 goals and 7 assists. Carlos Harvey, talk about versatility, he's more known for his defensive side of the game. He has 5 goals and 5 assists himself this season for the Phoenix Rising side.
And I think that's what makes this game a little bit more exciting. You're looking at Orange County with a very stellar defense, but you're looking at Phoenix, who come into this game having scored 4 goals in their previous game. And I think one thing to highlight, we highlighted that when they don't score the first goal, they've not been as successful as when they do score the first goal. But against San Diego, they went down twice. They conceded the equalizing goal in the 96th minute, or the last 2 minutes of additional regular time, to tie 3-3. And then they had the mentality and the character to come back to the team and get the 4th goal to win the game in the 118th minute. So despite them not having a great record when they conceded the first goal, they showed in the last game that they have the character to overcome adversity, to stick with it and get big results in big games.
It's just the second time this year Phoenix had come back to win a game where they had trailed first in the match. The other was back in August against bottom of the Western Conference table Las Vegas. They're 2-9-7 this season, 9 losses, 7 draws, when they fall behind first. So like you said, Chris, that's a drastic stat for Phoenix, and that first goal for them is essential tonight.
Yeah, I think the game against San Diego was great for the neutral, probably heart attack material for either one of the two fans. The Haitian sensation, Damas, scored a hat-trick in that game for San Diego. However, it wasn't enough to get them through to the next round. Phoenix evidently scoring 4 goals.
By the way, that's the first time in USL Championship playoff history that the player who scored a hat-trick had his team lose the game.
Yeah, it's hard to swallow, right?
Oh, a chance here for Phoenix over the top. Danny Trejo scores! Phoenix do get the first goal. Danny Trejo gives Phoenix the lead in Irvine. He sneaks in behind, and Phoenix Rising on enemy territory strike first in this Western Conference semi. Well, they scored inside of a minute here back in 2018 in the Western Conference Final. Add 6 onto that, and the traveling Phoenix fans are loving it. They lead by a 1-0.
This will be a huge relief of pressure for Phoenix. Getting on the score sheet so early in the game. Trejo does ever so well. You can see him making the run in between the 2 centre-backs. Does well to use his body, and then he just follows the ball past the goalkeeper, past the defender, taps into the back of the net. The second chance he's had in his opening 6 minutes. He's been a constant threat, but so much composure in that play. If you see when the goalkeeper comes out at that speed, sometimes attackers can panic, but he just nips it around him, does well with his strength to hold off Powers, who's put him under a lot of pressure, and Trejo buries it into the back of the net for the 19th time this season, giving his team a 1-0 lead in the semi-finals of the Western Conference playoffs.
Second goal of the postseason for Danny Trejo. And Phoenix, who had struggled at the end of the regular season, it's well documented, they, in some ways, backed into the playoffs, into the 6th spot, but their offense has woken up in these playoffs so far. Orange County looked for an immediate response. Milanilowski was the target in the middle. He stood up. It falls back to him inside the penalty area. He looks to recycle the play. Be a chance here for Kisipli. Among in the middle. Lays it off. It's shot back in. And it's curled over the top and out for a goal kick as Kyle Scott took aim. And it's already starting to become an end-to-end contest.
Some good link up here between Milanilowski and Amang. They just do well to keep the ball active despite lackluster clearance here. Ilowski finds Amang. Amang lays it off to the edge of the box here and just needs to do better with his strike. Test the goalkeeper from this distance. Has all the time to pick his corner. Leans back a little bit too much. Great opportunity to get themselves back on the score sheet there very quickly.
Ilowski picks off the pass. He tries to thread it in behind again for Amang. Rocco Rios Novo. He's there. A quick look at tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by Zulfikari Law. Gabby Torres out for Phoenix, although Juan Guerra is hoping at some point this postseason they can get him back. Chata and Dunbar not available for Orange County. Kevin Partita, though, back into the mix, and Mark McNulty back on the bench, both of them serving their red card suspensions. Here's Ilowski in behind for Amang once again. A chance for Amang to keep the play alive. A challenge came in. Amang stays with it. Little overlapping run to Dogman. Dogman's ball in is dangerous, but it's headed out only as far as Partita. First ball back in, it's recycled, and then a poor pass sees Formella pick up the pieces for Phoenix.
We're already off to a great start. These opening 10 minutes, the speed and pace of the game, the intensity, the quality in the passing has been everything we expect in a playoff semi-final.
By the way, Orange County had won their last 4 games by a score of 1-0. They beat Oakland 3-1 back on October 4th. That was the last time they'd conceded a goal. So It's been almost a month. Danny Trejo ends that run, and Phoenix are in business.
Yeah, and I think obviously playoffs is a very different situation. You know, you play different, the players have a different mindset, different mentality going into these games. However, Orange County have only scored more than 1 goal, or scored multiple goals in a game once in their past 8 games. And if they only score 1 goal tonight, it's going to be a tie game. So you're coming up against Phoenix, who scored 4 in their last game. They've already broken your ability to keep clean sheets. It's going to be interesting to see Orange County now being a little bit more offensive-minded. They have to score multiple goals in this game, something they've only done once in their last 8 games. And we've spoken about how good Phoenix have been when they've got the first goal. So the tables have turned, and everything is definitely in favor of Phoenix right now, having got that first goal. It's going to be interesting how Orange County rebound.
Formella, who was the hero in San Diego, lays the ball off. Eddie Manjoma has also had a tremendous campaign so far for Phoenix. It's going to be recycled all the way back to Alejandro Frenmayor.
I think that one thing's very evident between these two teams. When you look at the attacking prowess for Orange County, heavily dependent on Milanilowski. If you look at their past 3 wins, or Milanilowski's goal output in recent games, 6 goals in 5 games. There's not anybody else who's been as consistent on the goal sheet. However, if you look at Phoenix, you have Trejo with 18 goals. You have Artiega with more than 15 goals. You have Formella getting 2 goals in the last game. They have multiple goal scorers who can get goals should one player get locked up or be being defended very well. If Phoenix can do a good job at keeping Milanilowski quiet, there's nobody else who's really stepped up with that kind of goal scoring output that's as threatening as the offensive 3 for Phoenix.
Of course, if Phoenix do get another, it's worth mentioning, 15 times Phoenix this season has scored multiple goals. They've never lost. 12 wins, 3 draws. So the next goal could also be of vital importance if the stats are true tonight.
Yeah, and you're looking at the approach to the game now. Orange County are taking a very passive approach right now. They're not rushing and throwing bodies forward and being open and expansive right now. As you can see, the defense for Phoenix under no pressure, moving the ball around freely. It's going to be interesting as the game ticks on if they continue to be that passive or if they start to adopt a higher press and try to put these defenders for Phoenix under pressure and win the ball higher up the field.
Of course, Morton Carlson was so proud of the way his team defended against El Paso last time out. Again, a 1-0 win, but El Paso didn't have a shot on target in that first round playoff game. Well, it didn't take Phoenix too long to get their first shot on target and their first goal.
Yeah, and Juan Guerra gave Martin Coulson's team a lot of praise for the way they defend. And when we spoke to Morton Coulson during the course of the week, he spoke about his defense doing a lot of lateral running, shifting, so to speak, so they don't allow gaps to be created between them. But we saw the spaces open. Trejo made the run, and the pass came and exposed them, and he made no mistake in finishing to the back of the net.
Of course, when Orange County made that incredible run to the USL Championship title a couple of seasons ago, they had a 1-0 win over the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs here in the first round. And in the next 2 rounds, they had to win penalty shootouts to get to the final. And then, of course, they went to Tampa Bay in Al Lang, and they took care of business. So contests in the playoffs tend to be tight. They're looking for the response here, but the cross into the middle is easy for Rocco Rios Novo, who had over 100 saves this season for Phoenix in goal.
Yeah, and we spoke briefly with the players about the crowd here in Orange County tonight, and head coach described it as unbelievable. The 12th man providing that extra motivation to the players, and they've gone down at home tonight in front of their home fans, which would disappoint them a little bit. They wanted to be on the front foot, be aggressive, put on a show for their fans, keep a clean sheet, and so far they find themselves behind in this game. And I think as time ticks on, maybe the atmosphere is going to change a little bit because it's desperation. There's a lot at stake in tonight's game.
Partida, who served his red card suspension in the first round, and Morten Carlson talked to us about his work rate, his ball-winning ability in the midfield, and how important it is to have him back. We'll see how that impacts the game as the match goes on. He'll be needed quite a bit if the scoreline stays the same. As Brian Olowski whips it in for his brother. It's a little dummy, and it's central in the penalty area. It's going to be volleyed. And it's volleyed over the top and out of play by Kyle Scott. Not the first time he's taken aim this evening, but it's out of play.
Second opportunity inside the box, or just outside the box for Scott. He's doing well at making himself an option in the final third when that ball pops around, but just needs a little bit more composure just to hit the target. That's not too far out at all to ask him to hit the target. Obviously, it's left-footed. It's a little bit more challenging, but good technique. Make the keeper make a save. You never know. He taps it out and somebody gets a tap in from 2 yards out. But Scott is proving to be an offensive threat also in these opening 15 minutes.
Danny Trejo scoring in the 7th minute. Carlos Harvey got the assist on that goal, continuing to show his incredible versatility. And Orange County are behind for the first time in the playoffs. Cross into the middle from Ryan Dogman is blocked away by the captain Darnell King. King was one of the few holdovers for Phoenix under the Juan Guerra revolution, if you will. He continues to be vital to what Phoenix are trying to do, which is try and take that extra step that no Phoenix team has ever had the chance to do. Of course, they had a team make the final in 2020. That final never happened. 2018, Didier Drogba and that incredible list of players you rattled off earlier, Chris, they got to the final. Louisville beat them in the final. So Juan Guerra is hoping that this Phoenix team maybe will get a shot at it. But Milanowski almost equalizes. Absolutely smashes the frame. And Phoenix thank their lucky stars. It's not 1-1. It's a brilliant strike. But the crossbar thwarts Milanowski.
Just look at the first touch from Milanowski here. The first touch creates the opportunity. As we spoke about his ability to score, range of goals. Look, the first touch, second touch, whips it. That's inches away from probably being one of the goals of the season. Keeper was absolutely nowhere near it. Bounces out from the underside of the crossbar, and that's the danger of Milanowski. You can't give him half an inch of space because he really does have so much quality in possession of the ball.
It's a stinging ball from Olowski. It's central. Challenge comes in. Referee says nothing doing. Phoenix have possession. And then a bit of a retaliatory challenge as Brian Olowski may have been bumped a little bit there. Not sure if that was by the official or by John Stenberg, but in the end, it's going to be a Phoenix free kick, and tempers are already fraying in this hotly contested semi.
Milanowski has been a special player for Orange County over the past couple of seasons.
That was Brian's challenge, his brother, and then a little push. Was that from King? Not quite sure there.
Hey, it's everything that you expect in a playoff game. You want to see that. You want to see players giving it all on the field. You want to see it getting a little bit hot and heated. You want to see players charging and back each other up. They know that tonight means everything, and I think Juan Guerra summarizes this the best when he says, there's no tomorrow, there's no yesterday, there's no next week, there's no last week. It's all about what you do here today. You know, if I was in the locker room and Juan Guerra gave me that speech, I think I'll be pumped up. I'm here sitting in the stands and I'm pumped up. I think he inspires and motivates his team exceptionally well. I think one of the best things he says is, I love you guys, when he says that to his team. I think coaches realize that when your coach cares about you that little bit extra, you get a little bit more out of them on the pitch. I think Juan Guerra has done that exceptionally well with his group this season.
Well, Phoenix have responded so far, but Kyle Scott in Orange County looking to change the tide here in the early stages of this playoff game. Again, winner goes to play Sac Republic for a chance to move on to the USL Championship final. This is Kevin Partita, who tries to slide the ball through, looking for Thomas Among, not quite able to find him. And Rios Novo will reset for Phoenix.
Of course, Partita returning to this team after being suspended in the previous game, but both his head coach and his players appreciate him talking about how integral he is to defense, how he does a lot of the dirty work, covers a lot of ground, wins his defensive duels and intercepting passes. He's been key to kick-starting attacks by breaking up plays and then finding the likes of Brian and Milan Alowski.
And again, for those just tuning into USL Championship action tonight, we've already found out who's going to be meeting in the Eastern Conference Final. It's going to be the Charleston Battery playing host to Louisville City. And to quote the great social media team for the USL Championship, death, taxes, and Louisville in the Eastern Conference Final. They always somehow find a way to get there. They dealt with Detroit City earlier on tonight. Charleston held off Birmingham, and those two will meet in South Carolina. Now we're just waiting to see here who is going to play the now top overall seed, Sac Republic.
Yeah, and I think it's important to recognize Sacramento Republic for finishing #1 over the course of the regular season. They were the best team over the course of 9 months, and it would be fitting if they go on and win the playoffs so that everyone remembers them. I think sometimes we forget the team who won the regular season and we only forget the team that wins the playoffs in the end, because Orange County, they didn't start the season very well. You know, if you look back, it was questionable. I was always asking the question, how can they hold on to Milan Alowski when they were lounging at the bottom of the table, not looking like playoff contenders? I think since Morton Carlson's come in,
Alowski's picked the ball up here, takes the shot on, it's blocked out, and it is in Orange County corner as the aforementioned Milan Alowski trying to drag Orange County back to parity.
As we spoke about, most of the attacking plays come through Milan Alowski, and you've seen that in his opening 20 minutes. He's been involved in everything positive for them in the attacking third. If Phoenix don't get tighter to him, close him down quicker, stop him from getting shots off, it's only a matter of time before he finds himself on the score sheet again.
Brian Alowski will take the corner that comes from it. Drew Path Loans corner kick here for Orange County. It's going to be taken short. Milan comes to pass it back out. Brian Alowski just about keeps it alive, but they have to recycle the play. Partita out wide. Owen Lamb's ball in. It's a diving header to clear it out. Again, only as far as Partita. Out wide for Brian Alowski. Seth Kisipli. Ball in by Brian Alowski, was pinned into the penalty area. It's headed centrally. It's still not dealt with by Phoenix. Among trying to get on the end of it, and now Phoenix Rising come out with possession. Well, they don't keep it for very long. Nice job by Dylan Powers to step back in and win possession high up the field for the hosts. Powers for Milan Alowski, who drills one. It is blocked away. Alowski with 3 around him. Finds Partita. Kyle Scott. It opens up for him, and it's parried away by Rios Novo. Still in play on this near side, and it goes out for an Orange County throw.
Orange County again finding ways to test the keeper, but if you look at the build-up in that play, Milan Alowski found him in the center of the park in tons of space in between the lines of the midfield and the defense, and nobody picked him up. He had time to pick up the ball, turn, and pick his next pass. Somebody's got to do a better job of recognizing when he's in dangerous areas and pick him up. The problem is that, as you can see, he floats from central areas to wide areas. The number 6 isn't going to follow him all around the field, but they have to do a better job of communicating and passing on responsibility and letting him know where he is defensively.
Kisipli out wide. Lamb again for Brian Alowski. Kisipli. Brian Alowski again looking to provide the service. It's in for Among, who heads it towards goal, but not enough sting in it. And Rocco Rios Novo holds after he made this great save earlier.
Ball just pops out here to edge of the box, and it's Scott again from distance. This time he does hit the target and forces a save out of the goalkeeper. But it was a fairly straightforward save. We would have been surprised to see that one nestle in the back of the net, but of the 3 attempts he had, this is the one that's tested the goalkeeper the most so far.
Back to live action, you see there 6 shots for Orange County. The only shot that Phoenix has had has gone into the back of the net from Danny Trejo. Brian Olowski again is lurking. He curls a lovely ball in. It could be a chance here to play it across. 1-1. Thomas Among equalizes for Orange County. A beautifully placed ball by Ryan Dogman, who gets the assist. The champ erupts, and Orange County swiftly respond to get back to parity. It's 1-1. Ninth goal of the season for Thomas Among, and Morton Carrollson's boys are level.
Olowski delivers this ball. Great vision here to pick his head up. Find Doman attacking on the left-hand side. Drills it across the box, and a man just arrives at the right time. Good technique, gets head over the ball, side foots into the back of the net, but you have to ask questions here at the defending. Where's the fullback? When Doman's making this run on the left side, he's in so much time and space on his own. There's nobody putting pressure on him. Probably had time to take a touch and pick his pass out, but he does well to find Amang first time, and Amang makes no mistake in getting the equalizing goal for his team here.
Orange County goals are brought to you by Hogue. And about 17 minutes after Phoenix took the lead, Orange County responds. And Rocco Rios Novos quickly back under pressure. Have to say that goal has been coming. Milan Olowski had rattled the frame. Kyle Scott forced a save. And Ryan Dogman finds Thomas Among, who scores his first goal of the postseason for Orange County. And we're right back where we started.
Dogman makes a great job of arriving late on that left-hand side, but it's got to be Darnell King or Fuenmayor picking him up, and neither are anywhere close. Of course, it's a lot for Darnell King when he's asked to get up the flank and join the attacks, deliver crosses, but then being defensive in a good position to help the defend. And Fuenmayor was tucked in so much that he wasn't able to get out and stop Dogman. A great ball across the box, and Mang was in the right place at the right time. He won't get much easier finishes than that.
Armanakis has to come back and clear for Phoenix, who have been under siege really since Danny Trejo opened the scoring in the 7th minute.
And in honesty, the goal was coming. Yes, Phoenix did get the first goal, but since they've got that goal, the possession has gone in favor of Orange County. They've had 2 or 3 chances. We spoke about Scott having 3 shots from distance. We've seen Milan Olowski hit the crossbar from distance. And then that goal was evidently, the pressure was building up, and at some point they were going to burst the back of the net at some point. But now it's going to be interesting to see how Phoenix react. This game is so wide open at the moment for both teams.
Kyle Scott leads the break. Played in, it's controlled by Olowski, who goes down. Among tries to get on the end of it. Referee says no, nothing wrong. On we go. Brian Olowski out wide. Lamb back to Scott.
And this is a whole new look Orange County. I remember Orange County last season. They would win games, but they would not dominate control or possession of the game. They would maybe have 30% possession, but win the game somehow. This is a team that's dominating possession, creating goal-scoring opportunities, and converting goal-scoring opportunities. As we spoke about, they didn't start the season off this, but since Morton Carlson's come in, he's completely turned this team around from a defensive standpoint, and he's allowed the team to still get the best out of Milan Olowski in attack.
This ball's floated into the penalty area, and Rocco Rios Novo is there for Phoenix. We talked about it, Chris, back in May. Morton Carlson was promoted to the head coaching job after Richard Chaplow was relieved of his duties. Of course, tough decision for Orange County to make. That's the coach, of course, that got them to the promised land, won them the title back in 2021. I remember talking to Morton Carlson immediately after he was promoted, but also a few weeks after that, and he said it was going to take time for players to find their new roles under the system that he tried to tweak here with Orange County. And there were people at around that time, April and May, that just said it's not going to happen for Orange County this season. Well, here we are, and it has worked in a big, big way for Orange County. Yeah, and we have seen the last few minutes it really shine.
And as we mentioned, to get them up to second in the table is a big accomplishment, because they were not even playoff contenders in the early phase. If they had made the playoffs, we would have been surprised, let alone climbing the table, going on a run of form and finish off the season in second position. I think the head coach deserves a lot of respect for what he's managed to accomplish this season.
No question. Of course, had some Incredible times being a part of the Danish national team staff at the last World Cup, as well as Among breaks through again. He tries to score. He was maybe harried a couple of times there by Phoenix. Referee says no. He pointed at the ball as if to say the ball was won there fairly on the challenge. And it does look like it's going to be Phoenix possession moving forward. Mo Traore, I believe, was who put in the couple of challenges there. And a couple of Orange County fans not thrilled that the referee didn't stop it.
Yeah, I think you have to give Traore credit because Amang gets past him here, but he stays with the play, and I think he does make a good tackle here at the last minute. He manages to get his left foot on the ball and flick it away from Amang. But here you thought he was going to be in all kinds of trouble here. I don't think he catches him there when Amang starts to go down. I think the second tackle is good, but he does good to recover Traore there from initially his initial positioning. Allowed Amang to get him behind, but he recovered very well.
Well, now the issue for Orange County is that Amang is a bit slow to continue here. Just scored a crucial goal. Orange County's playoff hopes, canceling out the earlier strike from Danny Trejo, who leaked in behind inside of 7 minutes. And Ryan Dogman, who maybe doesn't always get the credit he deserves for Orange County, got his 4th assist of the season, including, of course, the playoffs. He continues to be a crucial cog for Morten Carlson's group. And again, doesn't look like Thomas Among's going to come off, but they do have a couple of strikers available off the bench. We talked about Mark McNulty being brought back into the fray after his red card suspension. And Kevin Langford also available if Orange County need to use them later on, or potentially because of an injury. The best way to ensure you're here for all the action, Orange County SC's 2024 USL Championship action, is by joining the season ticket holder family. OCSC season ticket holders not only get tickets at the lowest price point, they also receive a merchandise discount, access to exclusive events, and an exclusive gift. Place your $50 deposit today at orangecounty.soccer.com/season-tickets to get started. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew. What a thrilling half an hour it's been here at the Champ.
I think it's important to also mention that Phoenix have not lost to Orange County this season.
Yep.
First game, tie. Second game, a win in Orange County. So this game could really go in either direction tonight. Juan Guerra spoke about this team, the togetherness. And I think the captain, Daniel King, really epitomizes the values of the team. Not just a phenomenal player with so many appearances in US Championship, but as a person, he's really the leader that he relies on to keep the unit together. As you mentioned, he's one of the survivors from this huge turnaround in the roster, but I think he epitomizes the values, bringing the team together, being a leader, a captain, a fighter on the pitch, willing to go the extra mile, never gives up. And I think that's one of Juan Guerra's morals or values or biggest statements for his team, is that they never give up. And I think Daniel King is the player in the team who epitomizes all of those values.
And if any game exemplified that, it was the first round against San Diego. Here's Milanowski for Orange County. Dances past one, looks to shoot! And curls it wide of the post. A little bit of frustration from him afterwards, but it's a lovely run. Just couldn't quite get the finish right.
Yeah, when he starts driving forward with the ball, you can see how the defenders just start backing off. And for his standards, this is a really good opportunity missed. For anybody else, you'd be questioning whether they're going to score for that distance. For Milanowski, that's a really bad chance that he's missed and put wide of the target. Minimum, he makes the goalkeeper make a save, but it's a huge let off there for Phoenix. As we spoke about, somebody's got to get closer to him, pay a little bit more attention to him, let him have a little bit more time and space on the ball, because if he continues to be able to pick up the ball, turn and drive like that, it's only a matter of time before he gets himself on the score sheet, or he provides an assist for one of his teammates. One of the most lethal strikers in the USL Championship over the past 2 seasons.
Armanakis for Formella. Phoenix looking to get back into the attacking mood. Armanakis evades one challenge, plays it centrally. Formella over the top. King back across, nobody there in a white shirt for Phoenix to really attack it, and Orange County clears. Fuenmayor recycles.
King did well to keep that ball in play. Had anybody just been taking a gamble and making a run towards the penalty spot, towards the 6-yard box centrally, it would have been an easy tapping, but just unfortunately nobody was making the run. Good opportunity goes wasted.
Jose Hernandez has to recycle it for Phoenix. Armanakis is forced back to John Stenberg, who's had a huge defensive boost to this Phoenix team as the season's gone on as well. As has King. Armanakis, who can score and facilitate. He invites Traore into the play. Manjoma to his left. Harvey plays it centrally for Hernandez. Fuenmayor curls it into the penalty area, looking for Trejo, the goal scorer. It falls for Harvey. Can Phoenix regain the lead they've lost here in the first half?
You can see how challenging this defensive block for Orange County is to break down for Phoenix. They drop into a 4-1-4-1 formation when they don't have possession of the ball. You can see there's not tons of space. 3 players around Darnell King right now. Makes it very difficult for him to turn it and be able to play forward. They do a very good job defensively of getting good shape and just forcing Phoenix right now to play backwards and sideward passes that aren't really hurting them.
Armanakis chopping one towards the penalty area for Mella. King gets there, tries to find Formella, and it is cleared away. Fuenmayor will recycle it. Another big late challenge there that Orange County was able to snuff out. Manjoma able to keep it alive. It's served back into the penalty area, again looking for Derek Formella. And Formella does pick up the pieces here. He lays it off and a shot does come in! And it's just a whisker wide from Eddie Manjoma.
It's not bad effort there at all. Just a clearance there for Orange County wasn't quite good enough. Falls to Manjoma as he runs inside from the flank. Carries on his run here on his right foot, tries to whip it into the bottom corner, but wide of the post. Keeper looked like he had it covered anyhow.
Just 2 goals this season for Eddie Manjoma, but he's always a handful on that far side of the pitch in the Phoenix setup under Juan Guerra. One of those players that always tends to be a part of the big attacking moves, but maybe doesn't always get the assists and the goals. Just added to the list of attacking options that Phoenix has at its disposal. 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in the first half here at the Champ in Irvine, California. Winner goes to Sacramento for the Western Conference Final. Formella for Hernandez and Armanakis with King on the overlap. It's going to be Panos Armanakis who serves it in, and it's held by Colin Shuttler. In goal tonight for Orange County.
Wasn't a bad idea there for Armanakis. He just shapes up his body like he's going to try and whip it into the far corner past the goalkeeper, but just tries to hang it up at the back post for Trejo to attack.
On this near side, nice run from Ryan Dogman. He keeps on going here for Orange County. Milanowski's in the middle. Ball is in for Among instead, and he couldn't quite get a piece of it to control it inside the penalty area after another lovely marauding run from Ryan Dogman.
Dogman's been good on this left-hand side of the field. He's been just recognizing when Darnell King's high and when Fuenmayor is tucked in a little bit and exposing the space behind. His deliveries have been good. As you can see, the 2 times he's whipped in balls into the box, he's managed to find Amang. On this time, Amang's first touch just couldn't get him past the defender to get a shot off, but again, the timing and connection between Dogman and Amang has been present in this opening half.
Orange County unbeaten in their last 5 games, including their postseason victory over El Paso last time out. And should be reiterated, Phoenix, including the playoffs, just 1 win in their last 5. They really sputtered towards the end of the regular season. They had a chance to actually move into a home playoff game at one point at the end of the regular season. Juan Guerra told us it was frustrating not to finish the season strong, but as you alluded to, Chris, it's more about the here and now for Phoenix, and here and now is looking quite a bit better.
Yeah, of course you want to finish the season strong because you want to carry on that winning momentum, that good feeling, those good performances, and just continue what you're doing towards the back end of the season into the playoffs. But sometimes, you know, that can be an initiator. That 4-3 win against San Diego hopefully instilled some confidence and belief into this team that maybe they didn't have earlier in the season, and now that kickstarts them to go on and really have a phenomenal campaign in the playoffs. We've already seen Pittsburgh, #1 seed in the East, no longer in the playoffs, so anything can really happen in these situations.
Bit of a trip up there from Dogman, bundling over Armanakis, and it's a Phoenix free kick. We'll get another look.
Some good ball control from us. Just sucks in the defender there. He knows the tackle's coming. It's Dogman who's been so good in the first half with the late challenge there.
Like you said, Chris, the top 2 seeds in the East went down on the same night. Pittsburgh, beg your pardon, and Tampa Bay both losing. Just set up a Charleston-Louisville Eastern Conference final. Phoenix are hoping to take down another Cali team tonight and go to the Cali Capital for the Western Conference final, as this is headed away by Among. Brian Olowski leaks out with possession for Orange County.
Yeah, and you mentioned Louisville. Similar to Phoenix, Louisville have been very up and down in their form this season. They've not been the dominant force that we've been used to seeing them in the regular season. They weren't that #1 challenger, but they found a way to get the job done tonight pretty convincingly.
Yeah, they survived penalties in Memphis in round 1, and they put Detroit to the sword earlier tonight. 4-0 victory at Lynn Family. And Charleston had to hold on a bit at the end, but they held off Birmingham after the Legion shocked the Rowdies in St. Petersburg in the opening round. Of course, Phoenix ripped out San Diego Hearts last week. They're hoping to do the same tonight at the Champ.
And everyone loves a story from an underdog, right? This Orange County team, everybody was questioning their future in the off-season last year, whether they were still going to be around existence as their facility was attempted to be sold, etc. And the whole organization, the fan base, the community, all got around this team and supported them, which I think gives them that extra advantage tonight, because this is a team that's had to go through adversity. And I think sometimes that cohesion, that collective task that they've been through this season and find themselves now in this situation, it's those moments that they remember that will get them across the hard times. So I think that there's a lot to come in this second half, and I think Orange County might have the advantage just because of the home base, the fans being here, the adversity they face this season, maybe even just a little bit extra of knowing that Milan Olowski is going to be off at the end of this season, just gives the players and everybody within the organization a little bit more thrust going forward.
And of course, as we've seen over the last couple of seasons, this year and in 2021, Orange County here are very tough to beat in the postseason. But of course, Phoenix have done it before, back in 2018. Different times, different teams, different players in many ways, but sometimes that history can help inspire the team of today. Phoenix landed the first blow, Orange County riposted. And we'll see how the final 5 minutes of the first half turn out. Powers, lofting it over to the far side. Ball is curled in towards Among. Stenberg heads it out of the penalty area. Traore helps it along. It's going to be an Orange County throw on the far side.
Great left-footed half volley there from Powers, switching the point of attack.
Kyle Scott, who's been active, had a couple of chances already in the half to score himself. Talked about it earlier. Phoenix won here by a 1-0 very early in the season. Manuel Artiago is on the bench tonight. Got the winning goal, and then it was a draw in the rematch in Phoenix. Milan Olowski, of course, scored in that game as well, but Phoenix were able to salvage a point. Milan Olowski has scored in 5 straight games for Orange County, and the last 6 times Orange County has won, Milan Olowski has scored, and that includes the postseason as well. You have to go back to August 26th, the last time that Orange County won a game that Milan Olowski didn't score in. And it was a really impressive victory that night as well, and then nearly, I should say, another chance for Orange County on the back end. And guess who? But Rocco Rios Nova was there.
It's going to be interesting to see how Orange County adapt once he leaves. Who do they go and get to replace the impact and the goals that Milan Olowski has brought to this team? It's really hard to, it's not going to be easy to replace whatsoever. And I envision they're maybe going to have to adapt or change the way they play or the way they attack in order to find a new means of being successful, because I don't think he's going to be a player that they can replace very easily.
Of course, was the Golden Boot winner last season. Orange County made a late push to get into the postseason a year ago. They missed out. I think some people may forget that. It was such a tight race in the West last season. Went down to the final couple of weeks. Of course, Milanowski scored that incredible late equalizer in Pittsburgh to keep Orange County alive in one of the final weeks of the season. However, later that same week, they were mathematically eliminated. They didn't make the playoffs. They had the slow start to this season. So in some ways, Orange County and Phoenix are on similar paths in some ways, but only one can go on.
And I think, how do you win the Golden Boot when your team doesn't even make the playoffs? You know, how are you the top scorer in the league and your team doesn't make the playoffs? And then that's what you have to give him credit for. Normally, the players that are winning those trophies are the players who are playing in teams who are at the top of the table, scoring lots of goals, being successful. He was able to do that in a team that didn't even make the playoffs. I think that gives him a little bit more credit in his ability to score goals.
It also speaks to how much parity there is in the USL Championship as well, it must be said. And if any year of playoffs exemplifies that, it is this year. Final minutes of the half. Carlos Harvey in possession here for Phoenix. Just floating it up ahead. Armanakis plays a lovely ball in for Formella, who chests it down, but right into the path of Shuttler.
That ball from Armanakis, unbelievable. I just thought Formella should have just headed this towards the far post. He tries to control it. He doesn't get it down quick enough to get a strike off. It's a beautiful ball from Armanakis, though.
He doesn't have 7 assists this season for nothing. He has tremendous service capabilities. And Among could be away here for Orange County. He's already scored once. Can he find the angle? It's still Among, and it's blocked away. Dogman picks up the pieces and shoots! And drags his shot wide of Rios Novo's goal.
Among here showing his ability to stretch the back line. Once he sets that ball out, nobody's going to catch him. Darnell King's very quick, makes it at the ground. Among chops back onto his right foot to get the shot on his stronger foot, but defender does well to block it, and Dogman here with a follow-up. Just unable to get the shot on target. Good connection with the ball, but wide of the post, let off here for Phoenix Rising. I think had anybody else been chasing Among back besides Darnell King in that situation, probably is a goal there, and he's not pulling it back onto his right foot. He's probably taking a touch and burying it with his left.
We are into 2 added minutes at the end of a rip-roaring first half in this Western Conference semifinal. So far, this Western Conference heavyweight clash has lived up to the hype. Kasipli down the line on the far side for Brian Oloski. Brian Oloski was going to run out of room in the end. It's well defended by Traore, and it's a Phoenix goal kick.
It's been a really exciting opening half. You've had some of the league's attacking heavyweights going blow for blow. Milan Oloski at one end, Trejo on the other end, going toe-to-toe, creating goal-scoring opportunities, getting shots off. I think there's only more to come in the second half. We spoke about Arteaga and his offensive impact. He's not even in the game as yet. Can you imagine when Phoenix decided to bring him onto the field? I think there's so much more to come in the second half from both of these teams.
Final minute of the half.
And I think both coaches will be happy with how the first half has gone. Obviously, for Phoenix, it's a little more challenging because they're away from home against Orange County. Have been very good. 2nd seed, they were 6th seed. The Orange County fans being that 12th man on the pitch, and they're still in the game at half-time. They've created a number of goal-scoring opportunities themselves. They have to stay tighter to Milan Oloski. I've said it numerous times in this first half. There's been so many times when he's been able to find time and space. He's been left unmarked, and he's been able to be creating havoc because of that. They've just got to do a better job of somebody staying tighter to him, making his life a little bit more difficult. And I think they've got the opportunity to score more goals. We've seen they have the capability, the offensive output. Defensively is the question.
Shuttler clears after a little give and go between Formella and Trejo. Referee has a look at his watch, and the first half ends here in Irvine. What a half it was. Tremendous opening goal from Danny Trejo, who snuck in behind to give Phoenix the early lead. But Thomas Among, off a lovely service from Ryan Dogman, has equalized. Plenty of chances after that, and it's honors even at the half in this playoff game, Chris.
Yeah, you can see that both groups of teams pumping each other up, staying collectively together, very focused and concentrate. We know that tonight's game could go to extra time, so minimum they need to focus for 95 minutes. Could end up being 120 minutes if we stay tied.
The winner goes to the Western Conference Final in Sacramento against the top seed in the East. In front of a great crowd, though, here tonight in Irvine, California. These two heavyweights have traded blows in the first half. It is 1-1 with a big 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more, still to come in this USL Championship Western Conference semifinal. Halftime from Irvine is next.
Hi, I'm John Patterson from the brand new Mission Viejo Kia. Don't pay over MSRP for your Kia in Orange County. At the all-new Patterson Mission Viejo Kia, there are no addendums, no add-ons, just amazing customer experience and upfront pricing. Experience the difference, Orange County, at Mission Viejo Kia, online at missionviejokia.com, where it's all about you.
Patterson Kia, where it's all about you.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there's no one better at getting you back to you. Orthopedics and spine, it's all we do.
So, we're getting that house we told you guys about.
You're buying a house?
Yeah. Soldiers get VA loan guarantees.
Yeah, no money down.
Well, my office gives us free bagels.
That's cool.
You love our county. You built our club. We are OCSC. Now own it.
One of the main treatments we work on with the players is treatments that focus in on lower extremities. We want to make sure that we maximize flexibility and minimize stiffness in the hips and legs. During the session, we incorporate stretches, IASTM, percussive therapy, and cryotherapy. The session is really tailored to the needs of the athlete being treated.
Recovery is a crucial part of every athlete's performance.
We're excited to be working with OCSE again to help the team recover throughout the season.
Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you. It's the IPA Physio halftime report. It is Orange County 1. It is Phoenix 1 in this Western Conference semifinal. IPA Physio is the official physical therapy partner of OCSE. Of course, the winner of this one goes to the Western Conference Final against Sacramento Republic. Here is how the top seed in the West punched their ticket. They knocked out the defending champions, San Antonio, last night with a thrilling 3-1 win.
And 3-1 against San Antonio. You know, that's a phenomenal result, but I don't think we can be surprised with the way Sacramento have played this season. Number 1 seed, performing well, scoring goals, defending well, just continuing that form into the playoffs.
This might have been one of the best goals of the playoffs so far. Keko in for Ross to make it 2-0. That was just before we got to the 70th minute after Cicerone opened the scoring. And then this wonderful finish from Damia Villadere made it 3-0.
I think clearly Sacramento are going to be the team that you have to beat if you're going to go on to win a championship this season.
They might host the final as well. You never know. We will see how it all plays out. We preview Sacramento a little bit. Of course, they were the 2nd overall seed in the playoffs. They were the number 1 seed in the West and one of the best defenses in the entire league, if not the best.
Yep, you know me, Sean. I always give the credit to the team that finishes number 1 over the regular season. And if they can go and double up in the playoffs, I think that's what they deserve.
They've done it before, back in 2014. We will see if it's Sac Republic who will recreate some of that magic again. At the half here, it is Orange County 1, it's Phoenix 1. Great second half still to come, but first we'll take a break, and then we'll look back at some of the action from the Eastern Conference playoffs coming up on the other side of this break.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The battle starts today.
Comes in, diving header! Arturo Rodriguez!
Milana lost it! He's different! He really is!
Now, it's time to fight to the final whistle.
And beyond.
So the bull had eyes!
Opportunity! Yes! It's time to put it all on the line.
It's time to shine.
I'm Jay, and as founder of Omega, I understand that as a business owner, you've got a lot in your mind. Let the tax credit ninjas at Omega get you the money. It's rightfully yours. It's not too late to score big on tax credits, but you gotta act fast.
Sean and Chris back here with you at the half in this Western Conference semifinal. It is Orange County 1, Phoenix 1 with a huge 45 minutes still to come. It's been a fantastic game so far, and we're excited to see what is still to come in Irvine tonight. But first and foremost, let's take a look at the earlier action today in the USL Championship playoffs. Chris, we start in South Carolina, and the Charleston Battery punching their ticket to the Eastern Conference final with a 2-1 win over Birmingham Legion.
Set pieces are so important when it comes to these games. We know that 30%, maybe more goals are scored from dead ball situations to set pieces. So Charleston taking the lead there from a corner kick. Critical that teams do well at set pieces.
In the end, Birmingham Legion did find an equalizer. Kasim leveling up just before the halftime break to cancel out the Akaza opener off the header. Birmingham made it 1-1, but Derek Dodson in the 68th would punch the Charleston Battery's ticket, and they're going to host the Eastern Conference final.
Oh, a bit of ping pong there in the box. Header hits his own teammate, falls back, drills it into the back of the net. Devastating way to go out.
Little nick off of Dodson on the way through. Enough for the Battery to advance. And Louisville against Detroit City, a rivalry game really in the other Eastern Conference semifinal, and Cameron Lancaster once again coming to the fore for Louisville.
Yeah, a couple of veterans coming to the fore for Louisville. Ombi, Lancaster, these are names that have been associated with USL Championship that we're familiar seeing in these situations, and coming up big at the right moments. Experience, knowing where to be, how to handle these moments, how to play in these games. Ownby and Lancaster both epitomise that, and we saw them both on the score sheet tonight. Lancaster
had 2, Ownby had a goal, he had an assist as well, and Jorge Gonzalez scored on the hour to make it 4-0 to Louisville, who have seemingly woken up in these playoffs. They've been up and down this season, but they've knocked out Memphis, they've knocked out Detroit, and they head to South Carolina next.
The finish there, disrespect. Could have just slid it in the corner. He's got to dink it over the keeper and embarrass him, but great night for Louisville City, find themselves in the next round.
There's the full bracket in the USL Championship playoffs. Charleston will host Louisville in the Eastern Conference final. The winner of our game will head to Sac Republic. And of course, we will see from there who will host the final, who will play in the final, who will win the final in the USL Championship. We are excited to see how the second half here in Irvine will play out. Amazing game so far, and still plenty more to come in Cali tonight. First half highlights and stats are next, and then the second half kick in a stalemate so far between Orange County and Phoenix will follow after that.
A few years ago, I was making cabinets and somebody gave this idea like, hey, why don't you make your beautiful doors to fit IKEA cabinets?
You know, we care about everything that goes into making a door or a panel or a cabinet. Designing a kitchen or even remodeling it, it's a difficult process. We're here to kind of bridge that gap between The vision and realizing that goal.
We're able to make everything in-house, handmade, handcrafted, beautiful product.
When you are killed by a drunk driver, you become nothing but a stick figure on a police report. Your death will be a story never to be told by you, and justice will never be served. Last year, nearly 13,000 stick figures were drawn by officers after a drunk driving fatality. It will take everyone to eliminate drunk driving, so that no one ever has to tell your story from a police report.
This match is presented by Chick-fil-A, Woodbury Town Center. It's our pleasure to serve you. And the Noah Burnout Foundation wants to remind fans to never drive drunk and get home safely. Let's get to the first half highlights brought to you by Turf Newport Beach. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you. We jump into the 7th minute and Danny Trejo opened the scoring for Phoenix.
Yeah, we wondered if Phoenix were going to breach this stellar Orange County defense, and they did so pretty quickly in the first 10 minutes of the game. Trejo doing ever so well, using his body to protect the ball, thinking the keeper as he runs out. Little toe poke finish into the back of net to give Phoenix Rising the lead, 1-0.
His 19th overall goal of the season, his second of the playoffs, but Orange County responded quickly and they started creating chances. This one in the 16th.
Yeah, you can't give Milan Lulowski this time and space. He can punish you with just half an inch of space. Here you see first touch sets him up delightfully. Then he lets rip of a bending shot. Keeper doesn't get anywhere close to it. He's under the side of the crossbar and comes back out.
Orange County again here, Partita. This time Scott took aim.
Scott's had a few shots from distance. This is his third shot, managed to pull a save out of the goalkeeper in that instance. Fairly straightforward, would have been a surprise if he scored from there, but again, threatening.
And then this was the moment Among equalized after this lovely ball in from Ryan Dogman.
Yeah, Dogman found himself all at the back stick, all alone, drills it across goal. Among very grateful for that assist. One of the easiest tap-ins he'll score in his career, made no mistake, gets his team the equalizer.
It must be said there were plenty of other opportunities after that, but it's 1-1 at the break. And the Sauve Law Group halftime stats look like this: 12 shots for Orange County, just 3 on target, and the only shot on target for Phoenix was the Trejo opening goal.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Orange County's stellar defense, we've spoken about them being stellar defense, and they haven't really given up too many goal scoring opportunities to Phoenix Rising, but they've managed to create for themselves. So they've created 12 shots, 3 on target. If they keep going at that ratio, you know it's a matter of time before that man finds himself on the score sheet. So Phoenix Rising need to tighten up a little bit defensively. They've allowed too many shots from Orange County.
Again, if it stays like this after 90 minutes, we will go to 2 15-minute periods of extra time. And if it's still tight after that, we will go to a penalty shootout. Of course, Orange County during that 2021 run had to win 2 penalty shootouts along the way to lifting the cup in North Florida. Last time they made a deep playoff run. For Phoenix, of course, they're hoping that they can recreate the 2018 magic when they won their first ever piece of silverware here at the Champ. Didier Drogba was the match winner on the night. You may have heard of him, but Phoenix has only been to 1 conference final since. They won it in 2020. They didn't get to play in that ensuing final because of COVID. They're hoping to get back there this time around and get their chance once again. Orange County are still in pursuit of 2 titles in 3 seasons.
Really excited for this second half, Sean, and I think I had to repeat this again because it gets me so hyped up. There's no tomorrow, no yesterday, no next week, no last week. It's all about what you do here today, especially in the next 45 minutes.
Teams switch sides for the start of the second half. Phoenix in their road whites attacking from right to left. Orange County in their oranges with the black shorts are defending on the left-hand side of your screen. Phoenix trying not to waste too much time like they did in the first half to get going in the attacking sense. Challenge came in, but it's going to be an Orange County throw on the far side.
And I think if you're Juan Guerra, probably make some tweaks in attack to try and create some more goal scoring opportunities, but definitely defensively, I think he would have made some adjustments to stop Milan Alowski having so much time and space in possession of the ball, and also to close down Scott a little bit better. Scott's been able to get himself on the edge of the box and have 3 or 4 good opportunities in that first half, uncontested. I think that they needed to adjust a little bit to make sure those players aren't so free to get shots off on goal.
Phoenix does lead the all-time series between these two with 13 victories. Orange County have 9 victories against Phoenix in their history, and there's been 9 draws between these two as well, including once earlier this season in Phoenix. Traore striding ahead for Phoenix on this near side. Plays it inward to Formella. Hernandez square to Harvey, who got the assist on the Trejo, or I should say the Trejo, beg your pardon, opening goal. Fuenmayor down the line.
And it must sound like the Milan Alowski fan club, because I'm such a fan of this player and what he's been able to accomplish over the past couple of seasons. But if you look at the defensive work, his positioning, he doesn't get those goals as a number 9. He's operating on the left-hand side of midfield, and he gets as deep as anybody when they're defending in their 4-1-4-1 formation. So to be able to get that amount of goals despite doing so much defensive work, as I said, it is a huge level of respect and admiration for what Milan Alowski has been able to accomplish over the past 2 seasons.
We were talking about this before the game, 39 goals, of course, which is an Orange County record, it must be said, in 65 games coming into the night for Milan Alowski in an Orange County kit. Of course, he got his first postseason goal. Last time out, it was the match winner against El Paso, and he's already hit the crossbar tonight.
I think he already goes down as there's only a few who are able to play with their brothers on the same team, and I think that's probably something they're super proud of as a family. If it pops to mind, I only remember the Neville brothers with Manchester United. I'm not sure there's any other brothers that I remember playing on the same team like Brian and Milan Alowski are.
Phoenix could be in behind again. Harvey trying to link up with Trejo again. Colin Shuttler is there for Orange County on the backside. Of course, Brian Alowski was one of the 4 Orange County players who was on that 2021 title-winning side. Dylan Powers, Brent Richard on the bench tonight, and Seth Kisipley also lifted the trophy at Tampa Bay's expense that season. All 4 of whom are in the squad, 3 on the field tonight, and all hoping that they can recreate the run again this season. Fuenmayor and Phoenix have other ideas. Here's Harvey. Hernandez under pressure from his opposite number, Kisipley. Traore. Oh, it's a bit of a stumble on the pass into Formella. Brian Alowski has it for Orange County, but Traore does well. And it's only out for a throw instead of a counter-attacking opportunity. And it really was a back-and-forth first half. Phoenix, inside of the first 10 minutes, really were strong in the attacking third, but Orange County took it from there, really. That goal from Among was coming for quite some time. It came. Orange County nearly added on after that, and Phoenix had a couple of late flurries at the end of the half. So it really is anyone's game with a lot of game left to go as Harvey is upended. And just inside of the Orange County half, it's a Phoenix free kick.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see how these 2 teams' formations are battling off against each other. Orange County are in a 4-1-4-1 formation, which just gives them Amang as their lone striker. However, they've been able to create far more goal-scoring opportunities in this game than Phoenix, who are in a 3-5-2 formation. Obviously far more, double the attacking power with having 2 strikers, but they haven't created as many opportunities as Orange County. So it's been interesting to see both Alowskis on either side of the flanks getting up to support Amang, and also Scott from the centre of the park being able to join the attack and create those goals opportunities despite just playing with 1 striker.
Well, speaking of Scott, his challenge here on Armanakis is deemed to be a bit rash, and the first yellow card of the match is presented to Kyle Scott.
Yeah, and Scott now has to be really careful because this is part of his game, his tenacity, his ability to go and put pressure on players, intercept, make tackles, make challenges. This is all part of his natural game and impact that he has now. He has to be really careful for these remaining 40 minutes to time everything to perfection, because one bad time late tackle now will see him heading down the tunnel early and taking an early shower. So he's going to have to play a little bit on the edge. It's going to be interesting to see if Phoenix actually start to target him, put him under pressure, and see how good his timing of his tackles really is for the remaining of this game.
It's a SoCal Gas yellow card. And Phoenix will mull over a set-piece opportunity here. Armanakis stands over it, along with Jose Hernandez. It's going to be in by Hernandez towards Harvey, and it's just touched away. Formella was lurking as well, and so was Stenberg at the back post. It's going to go out for a corner, it looks like, on the near side.
Not bad delivery there at all. As you can see, as it approaches the center of the goal, the ball just starts to hang there, just screaming for somebody to attack it. Defender does well to hit it away.
Phoenix will try again from the set piece. It's one of the parts of Phoenix's game where in this particular matchup they do have a bit of a size advantage on set pieces.
Yeah, we've spoken about the importance of set pieces holistically. More than 30% of goals are scored from set piece deliveries.
Well, we'll see what Juan Guerra and company conjure up here. It's going to be the same two on this. That took the initial free kick. And now there's a bit of a dispute over the 10-yard distance here, but Armanakis and Hernandez will take it short. Armanakis curls this in, and at the near post, there's 3 Orange County players there to deal with it. And they further deal with it as Scott comes out with possession, but it's a firm touch, and Traore wins it back for Phoenix. Formella for Armanakis. Back to Formella inside. His cross is blocked away, and Scott picks up the pieces.
Good defending there at the near post. That was a dangerous delivery in the box.
Phoenix will try again. Munjoma. Lovely skill. Eddie Munjoma gets into the penalty area. It's good defensive work on the back end, and Brian Olaski comes out with possession. Now maybe a chance to break here for Orange County, but Owen Lamb slows it down. Orange County come back down the other way. It's Dogman trying to cross it past King. King does very well. But Dogman wins the ball back and keeps possession alive for the hosts. Partida. Kasipli. Owen Lamb into the middle, and he's blocked away and cleared away by Traore. Ball is headed back towards the attacking third, but Carlos Harvey is able to stifle it and win a free kick for Phoenix, and then he lashes out at Partida. And those two come together. And the referee, Kalen Radisov, makes sure it doesn't escalate from there.
Yeah, while you do see players on the edge with emotions here, that they need to be careful and keep their hands down. The last thing either team wants is to get yellow cards or bookings for needless pushing or frivolously throwing their hands towards players' faces. Harvey has to be careful here.
Well, I'm not a lip reader, Chris, but it's almost as if Partida told Harvey, get up, it's a soft tackle, and Harvey wasn't not taking any of that.
Of course, having that little psychological edge, you expect players to be trying to get into their opponent's minds and frustrate them, intimidate them, be aggressive with them, but you don't want to be getting yellow and red cards for throwing your hands into people's faces in a game like this. The last thing you need your team is going down to 10 men because you couldn't control your hands. So I think there's a few players who need to be a little bit careful in this situation.
Well, all's well that ends well in the end.
Good to see them shaking hands and get on with it, but I'd like to see the next 50-50 tackle.
I was going to say, we will keep an eye on that.
I think that handshake was for the cameras and for the match officials.
Well, in the end, nobody booked. Although Harvey, again, there was a little push in there. He's got to be careful in those situations like that. But on we go.
Nakeem has been coming up some big defensive plays for Orange County in the past 5 minutes. There's a couple of huge interceptions. He made the cross from the near post and then intercepting a through pass. His anticipation and positioning has been key for Orange County.
King runs out of room, trying to get past Dogman on the far side. 10 minutes in to the start of the second half in this Western Conference semifinal. Again, the winner will go to top seed left in the field, Sacramento, for the Western Conference final, and a chance to advance from there and play for all the marbles on November 12th.
Of course, there's no doubt Sacramento are watching this game and eyeing up who the next opponent is going to be.
Well, if Mark Briggs and his coaching staff are watching, congrats on advancing. And I'm sure he's well aware how tough that game will be, regardless of who advances. Formella, who was the hero in extra time against San Diego last time out. He leads the charge here for Phoenix. Traore in support. Back to Formella. Formella plays it centrally. Oh, it's a lovely give and go. Formella's into the penalty area and he goes down. Referee points for a goal kick. Lovely build-up play again from Phoenix. Orange County, led by Nakeem, do just about enough.
This is great play here from Formella. Plays the ball out wide, carries on his run. And if he's just able to get his first touch, he gets onto the ball after his first touch, just tries to get the striker. I think he kicks the grass and falls completely over himself. Completely falls off himself there, but he did everything right. The link-up play, the run in behind, the first touch actually set him up well to strike. He just was unable to connect with the ball, but that's what Formella brings to this team. When he changes the speed and the tempo of the game at those moments, so dangerous.
We've all been there, Chris. Come on. Maybe some of us more than others.
I think when he sees that back, he'll have a laugh for himself.
Another coming together here with Orange County on the attack. Scott and Harvey involved this time. Orange County worrying about the referee's book here.
Scott definitely on the receiving end on this instance. He gets to the balls first, and Harvey just a little bit late, clumsy, knocks him over.
Well, Scott saying, you booked me earlier, why aren't you booking him? Referee does not give a yellow card. It's just going to be an Orange County set piece, I must say, in a pretty advantageous position. Phoenix led inside of 7 minutes. In the 24th minute, Orange County equalized. We've stayed the same since then. Scott and Brian Alaski in front of the Ultras here for Orange County, trying to change it as we approach the hour mark. It's going to be Scott on the delivery. And it's a bit too tall in the end. Nobody able to get a touch onto it. And it's out for a goal kick.
You could see the intent in the delivery, though. Lamb hangs out outside the box to the last minute, and then he just sprints towards the far post. Obviously, that was the target, but the ball was just overhit a little bit. Didn't really give him a chance to attack it.
Well, we talked about that man earlier, Morton Carlson. What a job he's done with Orange County this season.
Interesting to see Phoenix still playing out from the back when Orange County are pressing with 5 players here, all very high up on the edge of the box.
Traore has been a lot more active on the ball in this second half. He curls a beautiful ball that finds its way onto that far side. King kept it alive, and it's curled towards the edge of the penalty area. And Orange County come out with possession through Alaski. And a lovely ball in to the front of the attack here. Milan Alaski gets past one challenge, stays on it. Among helps out. Among back to Milan Alaski, and there was handball appeals in there. However, Phoenix regained possession. Hernandez pings one over to this near side. Again, Traore has time and space. Has some help ahead of him as well in the form of Eddie Munjoma. Half an hour and change left in Irvine. Harvey again. Out wide here for Darnell King. Armanakis is dispossessed. It's well dealt with by Scott. And Milan Alaski just pings it ahead. Nobody there in orange shirt. And it's going to be Phoenix possession with half an hour plus stoppage time to go.
I thought Harvey had the opportunity there on the edge of the box after he plays the give and go to take the shot. Then plays it to Darnell King, who was wide, who had the opportunity to put the ball into the box. They play short around the edge and lose possession. lucky enough, the telepathy wasn't there between Orlovsky and Amang on that occasion, and Phoenix were able to regain possession of the ball. But some good build-up play. I felt like they just need to be a little bit more positive in that attacking third and try to get shots off, test the goalkeeper, put the ball into dangerous areas.
Manchoma from Trejo. Kisipli settles things down for Orange County. Be a chance for them to counterattack here. Scott forced to slow things down just a touch.
Scott's done well tonight. I think he's been a key player in the midfield for Orange County. Whether it's been winning back the ball or timing his runs, getting into the box to create scoring opportunities for himself. I think he's been a key player. Obviously, his man of the match in the previous round. You could see why.
Amang trying to feed it back to Milan Orlovsky, who gave it to him initially. Phoenix had enough behind the ball. Scott lost track of the ball and loses possession. Now can Phoenix break the other way? Hernandez. Formella with 2 on him, slides it back in behind. Hernandez continued his run. Jose Hernandez across for Danny Trejo. Out wide for Armanakis. More good build-up play from Phoenix, but Orange County get back in position. Harvey continuing to probe. And he's forced back. If it stays like this, we will go to 2 15-minute periods of extra time. Harvey. Nice reverse ball to give and go. Harvey to the edge of the penalty area. Trejo couldn't quite control it. And again, the outlet to Brian Orlovsky, who's bundled into. And Traore gives away the free kick. Orange County take it quickly, and then it's another rash challenge by Fuenmayor. Another Orange County free kick, and it's going to be a substitution upcoming for the hosts here. Kyle Scott's night is going to be done on a yellow card. And Kevin Langford is going to come on to take his place.
Yeah, I envision the yellow card is probably what's triggering that substitution, because Scott's been very good for them in the center of the park. But they just don't want to take the risk of him potentially getting another yellow card as the game starts to heat up in these final moments. So I think it's not a reflection on his performance tonight. I think he's done very well. It's just a case of protecting his team a little bit and protecting him a little bit. If they go to the next round, they're going to need him. The last thing they need is for him to be suspended, and they're going to need 11 players on the field finishing the game tonight.
Subs are brought to you by Mediquip, turning setbacks into comebacks. That ball is sent ahead onto this near side. It is headed on towards the edge of the penalty area. And a cross looking for Amang in there is cut out. That was Langford's first real contribution, getting the head on that. And then Amang is penalized for backtracking, trying to win the ball back from Mo Traore.
I'm not sure that was a foul. I think that was a little bit soft, to say the least. I think Traore will be grateful the referee blew the whistle and gave him the advantage in this situation.
Well, again, back in 2018, Phoenix won here in the Western Conference Final. They won by 2-1. Didier Drogba's goal was the winning goal in the end. That gave Phoenix a 2-0 lead. Orange County did score a late goal. Koji Hashimoto making it 2-1, but that was it. Phoenix did enough. They won the game. They did, however, lose the final to Louisville. Of course, the last time Orange County were in this spot, it went to penalties. It could go to penalties again tonight. It was against that was against Oakland a couple of years ago here at the Champ. Finished 0-0. Orange County won 6-5 on penalties.
Good defending there from Traore. Langford's coming to the game, trying to take him on 1v1. He's done well, patient, wins the ball.
Phoenix trying to find Trejo there. It's cut out, but then Orange County nearly didn't deal with the second ball. Seth Kisipli on the scene settles things down. And it's won back by Harvey. Danny Trejo into the attack. Trying to play in Formella. Derek Formella curling it into the center of the penalty area. It's headed out. Only as far as Armanakis, who clips one back in. Nakim's header. And then it's cleared away. Orange County, did they keep that in play on this near side? The answer is no. And Langford trying to save it. He's unable to, and it's a Phoenix throw.
A little bit of misjudgment with the ball from both teams, just making the game a little bit scrappy right now. Just needs someone to just put their foot on the ball and just calm the tempo of the game a little bit, take a little bit of control, connect a few passes, rebuild that momentum and confidence.
Remember, Orange County has not beaten Phoenix this season. A loss and a draw so far. And again, they are drawing here tonight. Winner goes to Sacramento for the Western Conference Final and a chance to play for the Cup.
Rios Novo's distribution from the back as a goalkeeper has been really good in this second half, because Orange County have been very aggressive in their pressing with 5 players up against the back 4 of Orange County, of Phoenix, and he's done well to be able to bypass that pressure in the defense. It's not easy playing in a high-risk area. Obviously, turnover possession is goal-scoring opportunities quickly. So he's done well with his feet, being able to play longer passes, shorter passes, driven passes. It's allowed them to be successful in the way they've been building out.
Orange County's defense has shown up once again. They had the early goal concession, of course, but since then, Phoenix has not created a ton of clear-cut opportunities. Orange County have, and they might get another one here. It's curled in beautifully and played across. Dogman again looking for Among. He finds Milanilowski inside the penalty area, but he loses out. And Phoenix come out with possession.
Yeah, the difference on this time, Dogman, similar run to the first half, except for Darnell King was right there, closing him down, putting pressure on him, able to block that cross before it came into the box. As we spoke about changes that were made at half-time, I imagine that's been one of them. We've seen Darnell King just hang back a little bit to put pressure under Dogman when he makes those late runs forward. It's proved to be successful.
That was a late challenge from Milanilowski on Fuenmayor. Phoenix not happy with the decision. And the referee is just making sure everything stays as cool as it possibly can, as the heat continues to be turned up in this playoff game. We talked about this earlier. Of course, this could be Milanilowski's last night in the USL Championship. His big move to Denmark will take place in January of 2024. He's hoping that Orange County have a few more games left to play. And they get the ball back here, but Rios Novo is bailed out by a heavy touch by Seth Kasipli. Well, Phoenix switched off for a second there, but Orange County couldn't quite profit. This ball is fluttered up ahead. Danny Trejo, the goal scorer for Phoenix, is onto it. Manjoma was in support, but it's great defensive work on the back end by Powers. Powers on the turn for Orange County. Being harried by Manjoma. In the end, it's outletted to the substitute Langford. Among sends Langford down this near side. Langford cuts in on Traore. And Langford continues to just about stay on it.
You thought Langford was off there when that ball's played in behind, but Traore does ever so well to make up the ground and get back there, forcing Langford to go inside to where he had numerical superiority. His team was able to win back possession of the ball.
Harvey from Hernandez. And Harvey is brought down by Langford. It's a Phoenix free kick. And it's going to be a Phoenix substitution as well. It looks like he's going to be the end of the night for the captain, Darnell King. He will exit here for Phoenix. And with 20 minutes left, Henry Uzo, he's going to come on to take his place. It's another Mediquip substitution, and the first of the night for Phoenix.
Some fresh legs into the game here for Phoenix, but when you take out your captain, you do lose that little bit of leadership, that cohesion, that game experience of being able to manage these situations, on-field management, communicate with your players, keep them switched on.
Long way to go, of course, but if Darnell King Could miss the 20, could miss an extra 30 of extra time. That's a long time not to have your captain out there. If we get to that point, it must be said. That is still a big if. Of course, if it's even after all of that, we will go to a penalty shootout to decide who goes to Sacramento. Orange County are hoping to win it in the 90 minutes, and it's a lovely ball played into the path of Kevin Langford. And the substitute tries to get to the edge of the penalty area, and Mo Traore snuffs it out.
Yeah, Traore's got the better of Langford a few times in that 1v1 duel.
Ball is sent back in, though. It was a good ball by Kasipli. It's dealt with by Harvey, and Traore clears. But again, Phoenix can't keep possession.
Good defending from Traore, though. His timing, his patience, his interception has to be to perfection there.
Langford tried an outside of the boot pass through to Partida. Formella is running out of room on this near side, and he concedes the throw. More good defensive work from Marcus Nakim. Orange County's captain, leading by example. You said this earlier, Chris. He's made a few big defensive interventions already tonight. And Langford continues to be active for Orange County on this near side. He crossed in a good ball for Among, who couldn't quite square it up. And Rocco Rios Novo gets on top of it.
Hadamang even connected with that. I think he was way up in the air too early to generate any power that was going to beat Rios Novo from that distance. Just mistimes his jump for this. Langford delivers it. Can see he's up so early already. It's really going to be hard for him to generate power to really beat Novo from that distance.
Well, Partida has made an instant impact since coming in as a substitute for Orange County. We still look to see who can break the deadlock. Both of the goals came inside of the first 25 minutes. Trejo scored the first of them. He finds Hernandez.
Yeah, this is when strikers can be their most deadly. In this second half, we've hardly mentioned Aloski, we've hardly mentioned Trejo, we've sporadically mentioned Formella. So it's been very much a midfield battle in this second half so far, but this is when strikers can be their most deadly. When you don't mention them, then they pop in a heartbeat, and that's when they can provide that killer blow.
Talked about it earlier. Phoenix really struggled at the end of the regular season, winless in their last 5 before beating San Diego last week, and the 4 goals they scored against San Diego were equal to the amount of goals total they had scored in those 5 prior games. Their offense woke up again in these early moments of the game, but Orange County's defense, which is arguably a top 3, maybe better defense in the entire league, has shined again, but they have more work to do here. Phoenix again trying to play through, but again, Orange County have the numbers and they deal with it.
It's good build-up that play there from Phoenix, but they just weren't able to make anything happen. Some good sequences, some good triangle passing.
Among at the other end tried to find Langford. It was cut out.
I think if Artiega is healthy, it's only a matter of time before we see him come into this game. 17 minutes remaining. You need a goal to win the game. Yes, you can go to extra time, but you don't really want to put your players through that extra stress on their bodies if you can avoid it. You want to win it in regulation time and then give them time to rest and prepare for the next game. So knowing his offensive output and what he brings to this team, if he's healthy, I think it's only a matter of moments before we see him introduced.
Comes out here for a chance here for Phoenix. It's curled in. Dealt with again centrally in the penalty area, and Milan Aloski just gets it out of harm's way.
Not the usual quality that we're used to seeing from Milan Aloski when he's in possession of the ball, but maybe he just saw it as an opportunity to relieve some of the pressure that they're under and allow themselves to get defensively organized once again.
I wonder if we'll see Mark McNulty on the Orange County side of things as well. Certainly capable of being a match winner himself. So the 2 big names on either bench that could still make an impact in this Western Conference semifinal. That ball is lofted into the penalty area, looking for Henry Uzo, and the substitute picks up the pieces here for Phoenix. Fuenmayor keeps the ball in play. Uzo's ball in is dangerous, looking for Formella. His header was blocked away. Armanakis can reset the play to Harvey. And then the referee will bring the play to a halt. There's an Orange County player down behind the play.
You can see the defensive intent, though, from Orange County. They've got all 11 players back behind the ball, making it really difficult for Phoenix to break them down, to create anything meaningful, to get time and space to get shots off on goal. think one thing Morten Carlson's talked about, he said that even when his team are in possession of the ball at times, he still believes that they're controlling the tempo and the flow of the game.
Here's a look at the last sequence that has led to this stoppage, and it was the header from Formella that was dealt with defensively by Orange County, but has led to this stoppage in play. While we have a moment, fans, there's still time to go and check out all the new merchandise for 2023. There's a new women's collection, new sweatshirts, and a new OCSC quarter zip. Head over to OCSCshop.com to grab yours today. Another great crowd here at the Champ in Irvine, California. They're hoping that Dylan Powers is okay. He was the one that made that defensive intervention and paid a bit of a price for it for the hosts.
Powers and Nakeem have both showed traits of great defenders, just willing to put their bodies on the line and put their face in some unsavory places. You know, often centre-backs end up with broken noses, all kinds of fractures because they put their bodies on the line at the last minutes when they know it's going to be match-saving tackles or match-saving interceptions. And Powers no different in that situation, challenging for balls that he knows he may not be in an advantage position to win, but if he can do enough to put pressure on the attacker to stop them getting a clean opportunity, he's willing to put his body on the line for those sacrifices. And I think that's something that Nakeem and Powers do exceptionally well for this Orange County defence, which is why they've been so stellar this season. In the latter half of the season, sorry to say.
Of course, Orange County went on that tremendous unbeaten run as well towards the end of the regular season that was ended by the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs here. Tyreek McGee ended that 9-game unbeaten run. Now Phoenix hoping to regain the lead. Oh, it's a couple of lovely step-overs from Danny Trejo, but he runs a little bit out of room. He does have Manjoma for support. Formella plays it centrally. And Hernandez trying to poke it past a couple of challenges. Nothing doing. Referee allows play to continue. A couple Orange County players saying that maybe Jose Hernandez went down a bit too easily. On we go.
Yeah, referee was well placed to make that decision. Some good link-up play between Trejo and Formella, but they made a little connection earlier, and it's just screaming for somebody to make a run in behind once Formella laid that ball back off to Trejo, but Trejo had to try and do the magic on his own, and he does have that ability. Once he gets inside the box, you have to be so careful with your timing of tackles, otherwise it's clear penalties, and he has quick feet, good agility, changes the positioning very quickly.
Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew. We hope you've enjoyed it so far, and Trejo could be in behind again. He does score, but the offside flag has long gone up. And that ends the sequence. Obviously, the goal will not stand, and it will be an Orange County free kick. Trejo incensed with the referee's decision, but the flag went up rather swiftly.
Be interesting to see this again, because the defender completely mistimes the tackle and misses the ball. Had Trejo just held his run a little bit to keep himself onside, the defender did the work for him, left him through 1v1. Unfortunately, he's a little bit eager in his run, and despite the mistake from the defender, Orange County get away with it with an offside call.
And to be fair, Chris, I think the flag was up even before that miscue had happened. We've seen a couple of looks off camera here, and of course it's always tough to tell. It's when the ball is kicked, where Danny Trejo is positioned with the second to last defender. It looked very tight. But from the angles we've seen so far, it's hard to dispute the assistant referee's decision. And we stay locked in at 1 apiece. If it stays like this, we will go to extra time. 2 15-minute periods, and then possibly a penalty shootout to see who will book a trip to Sacramento for the Western Conference Final. Manjoma, first time ball for Harvey. It's back to Eddie Manjoma, and it's tremendous recovery defending on this near side. Just the littlest of pokes on the ball. I think it was Kevin Partita helping out there. In the end, the Phoenix attack fizzles out, and Jose Hernandez is down behind the play for Phoenix.
There's been a couple of times in the second half when Formella's played the ball wide to Manjoma, and instead of playing it wide and making a run centrally into the box, he plays it wide and then makes a run wide, and there's nobody centrally to receive those balls once the ball gets delivered centrally. I think that Formella, knowing his ability to score goals and the form that he's been in creating and scoring opportunities, once he plays this wide, just get into the box and continue what you've done twice in the past game that took them to this level, is finishing. When he's in those wide areas, he's nowhere to receive those balls to be finishing off those plays. So I think if he wants to get himself on the score sheet tonight, once he plays those balls wide, try to get himself around the penalty spot or around the 6-yard box, easy tap-ins.
Well, there's Juan Guerra just bringing out some more instructions here. Looks like he's talking to Renzo Zambrano, who it looks like we might see here in a moment or two for Phoenix. Juan Guerra just so proud, he told us, of the way his players have adjusted throughout the season. They've been through the highs and the lows during this Phoenix Rising campaign. And they're a goal plus 10 minutes away from getting back to a step from the promised land. Just trying to get back to the cup final.
This is where coaches make their money. In these phases of the game, just little adjustments that can give you the advantage, whether it's be tweaking the position of a player, whether it's dropping a player back, whether it's overloading one side of the pitch and playing asymmetrically. This is where coaches really make their money, and just tweaking to get that advantage in these final stages of the game. Knowing that fatigue comes into play, knowing that changing personnel comes into play, knowing that emotions come into play. This is where coaches be level-headed, and decision-making can be the transforming factor in these situations.
And we're being told that Renzo Zambrano, who you saw getting the instructions there from Juan Guerra, is going to come in for Jose Hernandez, who is struggling a bit here for Phoenix. And Juan Guerra looks to be just confirming that change to the fourth official on the far side of the pitch. Jose Hernandez just popped up to say he wants to go back onto the pitch, but we've been told he's about to be substituted. We'll see if that happens. For now, Jose Hernandez is back on. We may have to come back to that. We will see. Orange County are on the ball here. Brian Olaski plays the ball up ahead, and Owen Lamb is snuffed out again. Mo Traore continues to shine tonight.
Yeah, his 1v1 defending's been exceptional tonight.
The latest example there. Ball floated over the top. Looking for Trejo. It nearly fell kindly for Formella. It still might. And Orange County regained possession. We're being told now that that conversation that Juan Guerra had with the fourth official was to negate that substitution. So Jose Hernandez is going to stay on. Renzo Zambrano will stay on the bench for now.
Approaching the last 10 minutes, there's either going to be immense heartbreak or we're heading towards extra time. We're going to see an extra 30 minutes of this game, which I think nobody's going to complain about, given how exciting it's been tonight.
Well, when you look at the USL Championship's official birth certificate, many people don't know this, Chris. Its middle name is Drama. And we could see much more of it tonight. We've already seen plenty of it in these playoffs so far.
Of course, for Phoenix, this would be the second game that will go to additional extra time for them, having made it through here by scoring in the 118th minute.
Phoenix will stride forward again with the ball in possession. Formella was asking for it initially as Fuenmayor strides forward into the attack. Eddie Manjoma curls this in, and Eddie Manjoma's offside as Traore scores. Formella thought it counted, but the flag had gone up ages ago against Manjoma, and again, Phoenix's attack ends with the flag. Well, Formella celebrated almost as much as he did when he scored his late goal in San Diego.
I think it's Manjoma who was actually the player who was offside, because neither of the players centrally are offside in this situation. I think it's Manjoma from wide, but just looking at the stats, half-time we had 12 shots from Orange County. This phase in the game right now, we're only at 13. So it's been a much tighter game in terms of creating chances for both teams. Phoenix, just 3 shots. Orange County with 13, but just 1 in this second half.
And to your point, Chris, you were spot on. It was Eddie Manjoma who was in an offside position, and Phoenix have to try and build again. But Phoenix have grown into this second half. At the moment, they've looked the more likely to score over these last 15 minutes, despite those stats being in Orange County's favor. But that's over the course of the match, not necessarily the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, Phoenix had definitely adjusted a lot better from the first half. First half, Orange County had 12 shots. This second half, they've been limited to just 1. So they definitely made some defensive adjustments that's been able to shut down. As I said, the second half, we've hardly mentioned Iloski's name. Scott, who's obviously not on the field, he had 3 or 4 shots in the first half. He didn't really have too much in the second half. They've managed to shut down Orange County's offense quite successfully in this second half.
Brian Olowski was fouled. It's going to be an Orange County free kick with 5 minutes plus stoppage time left before we head to 30 minutes of extra time with 2 15-minute halves. Of course, Phoenix have already played through all of those minutes in San Diego. They might have to do it again tonight, unless there's a late moment of magic. Partida for Kasipli, who fizzes one over to the far side. Langford, who switched sides, controls.
Interesting to see Powers drifting into midfield so high at this phase of the game. Knowing there's only 5 or so minutes to go, you'd think that he'd stay very connected with his defense and keep a strong defensive line, but still very willing to join the midfield and leave just 2 players at the back.
Lamb crossing it, and Rios Novo holding it for Phoenix.
Nerves of steel there, Rios Novo. Sometimes goalkeepers in those situations, this phase of the game, can fumble that. Ends up being a goal, but does ever so well for his timing here. Gets down, holds on to it, keeps his team in possession.
Well, it's edge of your seat stuff right now here in Irvine. The next one, the next blow could be a telling blow. Or we're going to have half an hour left to play. Harvey up ahead, looking for Uzo, but it's too far for him. It's going to be an Orange County throw.
It's not something we've seen too much in this game, is players making runs in behind and stretching the offense with balls over the top. I think Amang maybe did it once or twice in the game, but it's not something we've seen consistently.
And right on cue, Amang striding towards the penalty area. Amang goes down. The ball's going to go out of play. It's a goal kick. Referee says that Amang went down too easily.
I just don't think Amang gets his head up here and sees Brian Olowski in the middle all alone. All he needs is half a yard to use his left foot, slide it across centrally, and Brian Olowski puts into the back of the net. His game set and match. He doesn't do that. He keeps driving, goes down for the PK, and I think the referee's right not to give it.
Well, the champ is still very much asking the question, and now the referee stopped the play with Phoenix in possession because Amang is still down.
That was well hit. Just slide it across with your left foot. Brian Olowski's right there in the box screen for you. I'm surprised Olowski isn't going crazy at him in that situation. Yes, there's a little bit of contact. I don't think it's enough for Amang to go down there and claim a penalty. I think he's exhausted here. I think he's tired. I think he's having a drinks break. I don't think he's injured.
Like you said, Chris, I think even live it didn't look like there was enough contact for a penalty. People in Irvine certainly thought so. You heard their thoughts on it. Thousands here, Championship Soccer Stadium, but must be said, so far tonight, Kalen Radisov has done a tremendous job in the center of the park. And as Amang is being looked at by the Orange County medical team, we get to look back at the 2 goals tonight. Trejo first in the 7th minute.
Great ball in behind, great run, does well to use his body, get across the defender, jinks past the goalkeeper, little toe poke in the back of the net, gives his team the 1-0 lead.
That got Phoenix and their traveling supporters off to the perfect start. However, after that, Orange County were banging at the door, and Dogman found Thomas Amang.
Brian Olowski finds Dogman at the back post all alone, drills it across the box, and Amang buries it into the back of the net. Equalizing goal.
That was in the 24th minute. And here we are in the 90th minute, still at 1 goal apiece, and possibly on our way towards 30 minutes of extra time.
Amang had to find a way to square that ball across to Brian Olowski in that earlier play. All alone, there's nobody tracking Olowski. Nobody's anywhere near him. All he has to do is get his head up, recognize where he is, square the ball across. But there's been a few times when Amang's been played in behind, and you can see he has the beating of this Phoenix back line for speed. He has the beating of them for strength. Just hasn't been clinical in getting shots off when he has made those runs in behind.
Well, we will have to see now how much stoppage time there's going to be. At the end, we're told just now that there's going to be 5 added minutes of stoppage time at the end of this Western Conference semifinal, and that is confirmed. Phoenix are on the hunt, on the prowl, looking for a late go-ahead goal. Ball is curled in to the middle, looking for Harvey, it looks like, from Uzo. Uzo wins the ball back, plays it for Formella. Uzo's into the penalty area, plays it across for Trejo. It's cut out. Still not cleared. Ball is whipped back in, it's headed wide and out for a corner with Munjoma and Harvey lurking at the back post. And there's a player down for Orange County as again tempers fray a little bit at the end of the match.
Focus and concentration is so key right now. You can see players get more in time and space because of tired legs. Clearance here, not quite as convincing as it would like to be. Great delivery here. Defender heads it away. Phoenix putting on the pressure right now in these closing stages.
4 minutes left of stoppage time. Phoenix will get a corner out of that sequence. And it looks like substitutions are coming here. It looks like Renzo Zambrano is going to come on in the end, and that is going to be the end of the night for Jose Hernandez. Maybe this is more of a if it goes to extra time kind of change. And Orange County are going to make a late substitution as well. Kevin Partida will exit. And I believe it is going to be Andrew Fox who is going to come on in a bit more of a defensive change for Morten Carlson's group. Kevin Partida, who of course was suspended for the first round against El Paso, showed why he's so important to this group tonight. But his race is run, as is Jose Hernandez's for Phoenix. Both are med-equipped substitutions. And both will take us into the final 3 minutes of normal time. Extra time is looming, but so is this Phoenix corner. Can Phoenix pull off another late Cali shocker? From the corner, it's towards Harvey. It's headed away by Nakeem. Phoenix will recycle it. The substitute, Zambrano, sends it back into the penalty area. It is dealt with again by Orange County, and there is a foul in the play as well. And that'll allow the hosts to regain a bit of possession and maybe take a breath or two.
Yeah, you can already see Fox's presence on the field. A little bit more size, a little bit more height for those aerial balls that Phoenix are delivering right now, and he just brings that attacking ability when the ball's in the air. You could see he's immediately went in for set pieces, picking up players, marking from the corner kick that just came in.
And the referee is trying to get on the medical staff here. He says it's a possible head injury here. I think Kalen Radisov had to ask 2 or 3 times to get somebody to come on over and take a look. We will get another look at the sequence in the meantime. It's Owen Lamb who was a bit shaken up.
Yeah, whenever there's head contact, referees have to take a little bit more care, a little bit more time to ensure that the player's okay before just allowing play to restart.
Well, and again, to back that point up, Chris, with what we now know and what we've now known about head injuries, you can never be too careful, which is why Kalen Radisov was adamant that the staff needed to come on and at least have a look, which they have done so. And even Juan Guerra's now on the edge of his seat.
100%. I can think back to times when I clashed heads playing, and there's for sure games when I was concussed and I continued to play in the game. And we know that, you know, in the game you can maybe get away with it, but there's moments after that can be so dangerous. Concussions can be life-threatening. So the fact that the referees and the medical staff take these moments so serious is a testament to the game. They need to. It's important. Players have careers and health when they finish playing, so it's important that they're protected and looked after long term.
Well said. Ball's back in play. We will likely have a little bit of extra time on the edge of the 5 added minutes. Remember, it's a minimum of 5. We'll likely have a few more after that, at least 1. As Among is searched for by Brian Alaski over the top, but again, Rocco Rios Novo is there.
Yeah, Rios Novo does well there to anticipate and come out and make that one look fairly easy.
Well, I take that back. I guess there isn't going to be a little extra time added on for some of those injury stoppages. And at the end of full time, it is Orange County 1, Phoenix 1. And that means we have 30 more minutes of extra time still to go here in Irvine, Chris.
Thrilling semi-final affair. I think all the fans will be excited. They're going to see 30 more minutes and the game's not ending bang on 90. It's just going to be interesting to see which team has the depth to really be successful in these final 30 minutes. I know that Phoenix still have some very, very good attacking players on the bench. Going to be interested to see who Orange County can come in to give them a little injection of energy.
Who will advance to Sacramento? We have 30 more minutes and maybe penalties in Irvine still to come.
Inherent existing potential. Each one of us can move better, feel better, and perform better. Our goal is to create a movement culture that facilitates thriving, challenges the norms, and optimizes the human experience by providing the highest quality physical therapy. Whether you're returning to sport or simply seeking to live your best life, reimagine physical therapy. Discover your potential.
Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse back here with you. He's going to extra time between Orange County and Phoenix Rising. 1 goal apiece in the 90 minutes. We get a chance to recap how the normal time went before we get 30 guaranteed minutes of extra time. And of course, we begin with the opening goal from Phoenix inside of 7 minutes. Danny Trejo sneaking in to open the scoring.
Great run, great pass, and Trejo composure. The goalkeeper's coming out in full steam, just dinks it around him. Little toe poke into the back of the net gives his team the lead.
Thomas Among in the 24th would equalize after some beautiful service from Ryan Dogman.
Dogman all alone on the left-hand side, drills it in along the floor to the back post, and Among times his run to perfection, side puts it into the back of the net. 1-1.
And still plenty more drama still to come here tonight as Orange County will make a substitution just before extra time begins. Thomas Among's night is done, and Mark McNulty, Sparky as he's known, he's going to come on. And the Scotsman, who served a red card suspension in the first round, will hope to be a difference maker here in the second round.
Yeah, just a change in dynamics. Obviously, we saw Among's ability to stretch the defense and make runs in behind and be threatening from that aspect, but McNulty's a little bit more of a hold-up, bring players into play, not so dynamic. So a little bit of change in the offense for Orange County going into this first period of extra time.
And again, just to reiterate, no matter how many goals are scored, we will play through the entirety of both 15-minute periods of extra time. There will be a brief halftime in the middle. And if we're still tied, then we will go to penalties to see who will advance to the Western Conference Final in Sacramento. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew, thrilled to still have you with us. Some USL Championship playoffs after dark, a fitting way to end round 2 of the USL Championship playoffs. Orange County will be kicking from right to left here on ESPN Plus in the first period of extra time. Danny Trejo's opener canceled out by Thomas Among's equalizer. Both goals came in the first half. And we'll see how extra time goes as McNulty tries to get in behind as he bundled over. Langford picks up the pieces and his shot is blocked. And Phoenix clear it, but not definitively.
McNulty really smart in what he tries there, but wasn't conning the referee. He just gets his body in front of the defender, knowing that the contact is coming. And when he feels that contact, he goes down. But there really wasn't enough in that for the referee to warrant a free kick.
Owen Lamb down the far side for Orange County. Brian Olaski, an incisive pass for Milan Olaski, who tries a sensational overhead kick, but it goes wide of the goal. Goodness me.
That is an outrageous effort, to say the least. And this first touch isn't intentional. The ball pops up, but he just reacts to it, and the bicycle kick. If that goes into the back of the net, just the ref needs to blow the whistle there. Done.
The champ nearly exploded.
The improvisation, though, just to be able to react off of that first touch, to try something as audacious as that. Incredible, but so much time and space. There wasn't even a defender closing him down when he goes to bicycle kick.
McNulty is offside as the ball was played back in. It actually fell kindly to Milana Lasky, but the flag gives possession back to Phoenix. And again, this is the second straight game where Phoenix have had to go to extra time. Derek Formella scored the winning goal in San Diego to break loyal hearts in the 119th minute. As Uzo goes into the penalty area here, and he ends up committing a foul after some good defensive work again by the Orange County backline. This time Dogman stepping up, and Orange County regained possession.
I don't feel like we've had to call Shuttler's name too much in this
You're
game,
right.
apart from very early in the first half. We haven't really had to reference much to Shuttler. He hasn't really been in the cameras too much, to say the least.
He's had a couple of comfortable saves, to your point, Chris, but after that, it really has been the Orange County defensive unit in front of him that has done the business. I think it took us 30 minutes after, well, alongside the Trejo goal, of course, but Shuttler's name wasn't called a ton even in the opening stages of the game, besides Trejo's goal. Uzo, who was one of the substitutes that came on in normal time. And we will play to the 120th minute regardless. If it stays tied, then we will hear from Colin Shuttler and Rocco Rios Novo in penalties. Only one can move on to Sacramento. Zambrano gets it back from Harvey. It's a lovely give and go. And Renzo Zambrano goes on, but in the end wastes the chance.
It's a wild effort, to say the least. He had so much more time and space in front of him to continue to drive and attract a defender, get a little bit closer to get the shot off, or maybe just slide in somebody else, but he opts to go for the audacious effort from distance, and it's more at home on an NFL field than on a soccer field.
There was one or two Phoenix players asking for a deflection there. The replay confirms that there was nothing of the sort. And on we go. Ball is blasted back towards the penalty area. And again, rather comfortable for Shuttler. An Orange County recycle of possession.
As expected, as the players start to get fatigued, the quality in the game goes down a little bit. You're just looking at a moment of magic from one player to make the difference.
Trejo nearly got in behind. Formella tries to lay it off for Armanakis, but Dylan Powers is all over it and tries to release McNulty, and he's headed away by Traore. Again, Orange County has been here before. Back in 2021, they took Oakland here to penalties after it finished 0-0. After the 120 minutes that were played that night here at the Champ. It was Orange County that won 6-5 on penalties. They actually had to beat San Antonio here on penalties in the next round as well, 5-3. That one finished 1-1 after extra time as well. But Phoenix are looking to get the first goal of extra time. Formella from Trejo, and again, Orange County do just enough defensively to deal with that passage of play, but they give possession right back.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to look at some of the statistics right now, Sean. If you don't have possession of the ball, it's very difficult to control the game if you don't have the ball. However, if you look at the statistics and shots, Orange County have 15 shots in this game, Phoenix Rising have 4. However, the possession right now is 61% in favor of Phoenix, despite just having 4 shots, and 9% in favor of Orange County, despite having 15 shots. Sometimes we try to correlate the possession with having the control of play and the success during the game, but for Orange County, that's not necessarily been the case tonight. They've had 39% possession, but had 15 shots on goal.
Armanakis gets past a challenge. It's still Panos Armanakis, and he ends up losing out on the edge of the penalty area. Orange County resets. And that's a lovely ball played onto that far side. Maybe a chance here for Orange County on the break. An early ball into the middle. Stenberg is there for Phoenix to head it away as Lamb curled it into the penalty area. Trejo trying to come the other way with the ball. curls it into the path of Armanakis. Just took a glance at the expected goals for both teams. It's pretty even. 0.95 for Orange County, 1.03 for Phoenix. Armanakis into the penalty area. Formella, always a danger. Uzo. The shot does come in from Harvey, and it's well held by Shuttler.
Yeah, those efforts are sometimes harder to hold on for goalkeepers than they may look. When it bounces just in front, sometimes goalkeepers can fumble those opportunities.
Brian Olaski's lovely run. He plays in Mark McNulty. McNulty plays in Milan Olaski, who's going to try and score from an almost impossible angle. In the end, he comes nowhere near, and it's out for a throw on the near side.
Yeah, he's just hoping that one of his teammates are making a run into the box there. But again, this is where the tired legs really kick in, and the game completely opens up differently than it did earlier in the game. Earlier in the game, somebody's probably making a near post run, somebody's making a far post run, somebody's making a run straight down the middle. But as tired legs kick in, players stop making those runs in it. That was a great opportunity there for Orange County to take the lead in this extra time, but just tired legs having an impact on the flow of the game. And you can't blame the players. They've been giving it everything out there tonight.
It's been a thrilling contest, hard fought. Like you said, it's been passionate, must be said.
This is where the players coming in off the bench can have a huge impact, because they're coming in with those fresh legs, with the energy still to be able to make those runs in this extra time.
Will someone break the deadlock? Or are we going to go to a penalty shootout? Still a long way to go in extra time. Play to the 105th, brief halftime, and then we will play 15 more minutes after that, regardless of what the score is. Phoenix again with some lovely build-up play, and it's Henry Uzo! And in the end, it's $1 million move by Phoenix, but it's a 10-cent finish.
The touch, the first touch from Uzo was world class, and the finish was just rash and lacked composure. This first touch completely takes Langford out of the game, and then he just needs to have more composure there, low across the goalkeeper, and he's probably got himself the winning goal, but just slashes it with a lack of composure, and big let off there.
But more examples of confident attacking play from Phoenix Rising, it must be said.
Yeah, the game is going either way right now. It's hard to anticipate who's going to get the next goal.
Milan Olaski trying to win the header. It falls kindly for Armanakis. He's going to take on 3 Orange County defenders, and he tries to slide it through for Zambrano. Zambrano's early ball into it nearly fell kindly there for Erickson Gallardo, who also came on in this first period of extra time. In the end, Phoenix let the attack fizzle out a bit. It is going to lead, it looks like, to a substitution. Panos Armanakis is going to come off, and as we hit the 100th minute on the nose, we will see Manuel Arteaga come on for Phoenix. Talk about a potential difference maker this season for Phoenix. He has 15 goals and 7 assists. And Juan Guerra is going to send him in to try and win the match.
Yeah, this is this is the last player that Orange County want to see at this phase of the game. You're 100 minutes deep, and then a player who has 15 goals so far this season comes off the bench. And that's what we spoke about, the depth in attack for Orange County. We wonder why it's taken so long to see Arteaga come into this game, but we know that he's a player who's capable of scoring goals, given the service.
We're saying we're expecting to see McNulty. We get him into the game. We were expecting to see Arteaga. He's in as well. But it's Milan Olaski trying to maraud his way through multiple challenges. He's not quite able to. Briefly, the pieces were picked up by Kisipli. Formella is forced back. And in the end, Phoenix, it looks like, are going to do just about enough here to deal with it. Trejo, well, that was a dangerous pass. Phoenix trying to play their way through, and Formella in the end is fouled. It's a free kick with 4 minutes left, plus some potential stoppage time at the end of this first period of extra time.
I think it was Fremayor who did a good job of shutting down Milan Olaski there when he was picking up speed, running forward with the ball.
Stenberg still looked fresh as a daisy as he strides forward into the attacking third. But Gallardo, he's beaten to it.
I think both teams have to be given credit for the way they've defended, especially in the second half. It wasn't as exciting from an attacking standpoint as the first half because there was more opportunities created. The game was a little bit more open, but both teams in the second half have put on exceptional defensive displays, limiting both attacks to very few chances.
Ball is won back well by Zambrano, and Phoenix will reset the play.
And whilst we love to see the attacking play, we also have to give credit to the defensive play also, because that, you know, we say a lot, defense wins championships. Keeping clean sheets is a staple of all very good, successful teams.
Alaski up ahead to McNulty. An Orange County break here. It's a lovely ball fluttered back centrally, but it was a rash challenge from Alejandro Fuenmayor, and he is going to be booked for that. And we will get a chance to revisit it.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have any surprises here that the referee's putting him into his little black book. It's a little late. 1 foot's actually fairly high. He's lucky, it could have been worse. He could be having a straight red for that.
I was just going to say, Chris, it's one of those things where another referee maybe looks at that with a dimmer view. You never know.
But I'm glad the referee didn't, because you know, late in the game like that, players are just throwing their bodies. They're trying to do everything they can to have an impact on the play in possession. It's not malicious. He doesn't try to hurt him. It's just a little bit clumsy to say the most. But I think the referee made the right decision. Foul, yellow card. Let's try to keep the game as even as fair going into the final stages.
To SoCal Gas, yellow card as well. Minute and a half, plus potentially some stoppage time. And then we'll have a brief break. And then there'll be a second period of extra time. Nakeem's still not happy over something for Orange County there. Orange County will be in possession. Both of the goals came back in the first half of normal time. Ball is fluttered down this far side. Maybe another chance for Lamb to cross into the penalty area. He gets it onto his left. Powers trying to slip a ball through. He continues to stay in the play. Milanowski picks it up. Gets it into McNulty. Ball's played back for McNulty, who has to save it on the byline. He is able to do so. And Orange County take a lead into the extra time half with them. And again, that ball is going to be deflected out. It's going to be a Phoenix throw.
Normally in these situations, it's an absolute moment of brilliance that wins the game, or a complete lapse and a defensive error due to fatigue kicking in and the lack of cohesion as the game ticks on. So it's going to be interesting to see which is going to be the factor that creates the next goal scoring opportunity, or the next goal to say the least, or if we're going to go all the way to penalty kicks tonight, and then we will be mentioning Shuttler's name a lot, as you mentioned.
And Rios Novos, for that matter.
And that can sometimes go either way, right? Sometimes the goalkeeper who's not had much action then is required to make a lot of saves in a quick period of time, penalty kicks. Maybe the goalkeeper who's been tested a lot and had to make a lot more saves in the game is a little bit more prepared and switched on for that moment. So psychology and concentration is something that only goalkeepers can really understand, but they can be quiet for 89 minutes and have to come up with a key save just out of nowhere. So they always have to be focusing to the maximum.
We're into one added minute at the end of the first half of extra time. Trejo made a nice run for Mella. He's stifled by Langford on this near side. And a chance to outlet the ball. It's cut out by Fuenmayor. Maybe a chance for one more Phoenix attack at the end of this first period of extra time. Uzo on the near side. Crosses it into the middle, and it is cleared away. And Milanowski picks it up for Orange County. And he's able to play the ball right through Harvey. Milanowski out wide for his brother Brian. Brian back to Milan in transition. McNulty's in the middle. Alaski will cross it into the middle, but it's too close to Rios Novo, and that is halftime of extra time.
A little bit of Milanowski magic there to end the first half of extra time. Going to be interesting what they can dig deep into the second half. Now it's a huge test of character. These players have to find the energy. They have to really dig deep inside if they want to prolong their season.
We'll have a brief stoppage here of extra time. Of course, both teams have come close, not only in the 90 minutes, 2 goals were scored early, but we get a chance to look back at the first period here, the last 15 minutes of extra time. And Milanowski nearly brought the house down with that strike.
Yeah, that first touch wasn't intentional, but it does ever so well to just react and create in the flow of the game.
And then Phoenix on the other end, Uzo laying it off, and then Harvey had a decent hit, but right down the middle.
Keeper made it look easier than it was, but a few half chances. I'd say these are half chances. This was probably the best of them all. Uzo just slashes this one wide of the target.
There's some beautiful Phoenix build-up play, but still nothing to separate these two. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew, thanks for staying up with us. It has been a tremendous day and night of USL Championship playoff action. Again, the winner of this one is moving on to face Sacramento in a place in the conference final in the West, and the winner of that will play in the USL Championship final on November 12th. We already know that Sacramento will not only be there, but they will host. One of these two teams will be there with them for a chance to play in the Cup. And of course, earlier today, Charleston beating Birmingham, Louisville taking care of Detroit. So it will be a Charleston-Louisville Eastern Conference final, and that means there's only one spot left in the USL Championship's Final Four. As you see there, Bryce Jamieson has come on. It looks like he will look to help the Orange County cause, and did look like Phoenix is going to make a change as well. Carlos Harvey is going to come off, and Emil Quajo is going to take his place. Another one of the great midfield players that Juan Guerra has at his disposal. So both teams go back deep into their depth here. And both teams, Chris, have 15 minutes to win it, or we will go to the lottery of a penalty shootout to see who will advance to the Western Conference final.
Yeah, at this stage of the season, players have played so many games. As much as their physical condition, this comes down a lot to the mentality and how much they're willing to sacrifice to win this game. It can come down to an individual just having it themselves, but the team that has the strongest collective mentality is probably going to be the one who's able to go and win this game, because you're going to have players who, their bodies are getting tired, their muscles are shutting down, and they still got to find a way to keep fighting, to keep competing, to keep running, to keep closing down and shutting down those opportunities for the opponent. So it's really a test of mental strength in this situation, because, as we said, it's easy to stop when you get tired. The one who's going to win is the one who keeps going.
So both teams get a little bit more fresh legs to begin the second period of extra time. Again, both of the goals came in the first half of normal time. Danny Trejo in the 7th minute, canceled out by Thomas Among in the 24th. Since then, no one has scored. There's been some big chances for both teams. We have stayed locked even at 1 goal apiece. And the further along we go in this second period of extra time, the more likely we will have to settle this from the spot.
Orange County just able to break that Phoenix press with a ball straight down the middle from the goalkeeper.
Well, there's a coming together on the far side there. Milanowski brought down, and Henry Uzo is booked for the challenge. The substitute will see a yellow card, and it's going to be an Orange County free kick.
Milanowski just plays the ball down the side there. Yeah, I think the referee's right. Uzo's arm's a little bit high, and he does try to body check Milanowski rather than making a run to get the ball.
SoCal Gas yellow card for the substitute who came in during normal time for Phoenix. As you rightly said earlier, Chris missed a huge chance to maybe give Phoenix the lead in the first half of extra time. From the set piece, it's floated into the penalty area. Rios Novo came for it and he missed it, but Gallardo on the backside is there and he clears for Phoenix. It could have gone anywhere. And now Zambrano is a one-man wrecking crew in transition for Phoenix. He plays it centrally. There's a brief chance for Quajo, who tumbles over. Referee sees nothing wrong with it, but Phoenix do keep it. It's a throw.
Game's starting to go up again with the fresh legs coming in and being able to stretch the defenses. Rios here is extremely lucky that his defenders bailed him out, because he came out to punch this ball and got absolutely nothing on it.
From the throw, Quajo is dispossessed. He thought he was fouled. Referee says it's all ball, and Orange County comes out with possession through Brian Olowski. Ball is sent sputtering through the middle. Ooh, it was a cheeky little flick from Milan Olaski. That's become one of his trademarks.
There's a few times now Orange County have just been able to drill that ball forward straight through the heart of the Phoenix defense.
Uzo on the far side for Phoenix. Leaves it to Formella. Does he have more extra time magic in his boots? Quajo looks for space. Does have Gallardo for support. Quajo again. Thought better of it. He looked to maybe play a cross in there. Stenberg instead resets. Fuenmayor, who's on a yellow card, has to play it in. Plays it short instead. Zambrano. He'll play it into the penalty area. Looking for Artiago. Does get his head to it. Nobody else there in white to really help him out. And Jameson is bundled into by Quajo. The two substitutes collide. It's an Orange County free kick.
Arteaga did well to win that header and keep the ball alive despite being an overhit cross, but there was just nobody close enough in support of him to keep possession of the ball once he won that header.
Lamb. And the ball's played centrally. Can one of these two teams find some extra time magic? Alana Lasky lays it off. Brian Olaski looking to bring Orange County forward once again. Lamb. Brian Olaski with a poor pass. It's picked off. He does stop the counterattack for a second, and then the ball is fluttered over the top looking for Trejo. But Shuttler does well to quickly put the ball back into the mixer. And it's a ball that's played right into the Phoenix penalty area for Rocco Rios Novo to corral.
Both teams trying to play a little bit more direct. We can see like longer passes being hit over the top of the defense and a little bit more impatient in the build-up than maybe they were earlier in the game. Not too much quality on those passes, so it's just turning over possession from both teams.
Still 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And if it stays at 1-1, we will go to penalties. And the winner will head to Sacramento. Orange County win back possession. Lovely through ball through the middle of the park. It's going to be deflected towards the edge of the penalty area here. Brian Olaski's hustle catches up to it. McNulty back to him. Jameson plays it centrally. Langford got it from Powers. And Trejo's pressure forces it back, but it's still with Orange County.
What do you think, Sean? You think we're going to go to penalties, or you think we're going to have some late heartbreak?
I think there's too much time left to tell. Could have a few more twists and turns still to go. Jameson wins a throw. All I do know is that the USL Championship playoffs never disappoint. You might want to stick around at home. 9 minutes left. Orange County have been able to pull it out of the bag from this position in the playoffs so many times before. Can they do it again? Or will it be Phoenix at the champ late in the playoffs again? Oh, it nearly was threaded all the way through for Trejo. Crucial intervention by Andrew Fox. Orange County might get a chance here on the other end. Langford chops it into the penalty area, and he ends up having to settle it down.
We spoke briefly, Sean, about...
Oh, Langford's going to shoot, and it rises out of play.
Ambitious effort. We spoke earlier about Orange County having only scored multiple goals in games once in their previous 8 games. If the score stays like this for the remainder, this will be once in 9 games. So there's no surprises here of Orange County scoring just 1 goal. For Phoenix, on the other hand, this is a team that's used to scoring multiple goals, but they also concede multiple goals. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to see this game out having conceded just 1, or if they're able to be their lively selves and get themselves on the score sheet at least 1 more time before the end of regulation. Well, sorry, the end of extra time. We've already passed regulation.
Quajo, just under 8 minutes plus stoppage time until potentially we get to penalties. Or is someone going to snatch a late winner? Traore.
Ortega's been quiet so far. It's going to be interesting to see if he writes his name into the storybook tonight. We know he's a player that only needs half a chance.
Zambrano out wide. Fuenmayor. Zambrano has time and space. He threads it through. He was trying to get it to Arteaga, who made a good run. They just couldn't quite link up. And Shuttler is there.
Shuttler in no rush to get the ball back into play. And you'd envision that both teams will be trying to keep the ball in play as often as possible in these remaining 7 minutes and try to create the goal scoring opportunity in extra time rather than gambling on penalties. But you can see players now going down with cramp this phase of the game.
Mo Traore struggling, and that leads me into what I was just going to say, Chris, which is that Phoenix are actually out of substitutions. They've used all 5. Orange County actually do have one more change if they choose to make it.
Get Traore a little Pedialyte, you'll be fine. 8 minutes to go to get to penalty kicks.
At the moment, he's going to have to tough it out like many are on the pitch. And oh, it's a lovely little touch by Trejo there. Nearly wriggled his way through. Again, Fox is there defensively.
And I think that's what Orange County do very well. When one player gets beat, there's always someone backing them up who's able to get them out of trouble.
It's been the story of the night in a lot of ways for Orange County defensively, hasn't it?
Yeah, their defenders have done very well tonight. We spoke about the record that they have. Came into this fixture tonight off the back of 3 clean sheets, winning all of those games by 1-goal margins, 1-0. Milan Ladovsky having all those goals in those victories. But you can see solid defensively, very tight, very compact, very organized, extremely difficult to break down. Phoenix haven't been able to create too many opportunities, but I don't think that's for a lack of trying. I just think that Orange County's defense has been extremely good.
Ticking down on 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in the second period of extra time. Gallardo is able to get past the defender. It's in for Emil Cuejo, who's going to shoot, and he scores! More late playoff magic for Phoenix. The substitute, Emil Cuejo, scores with 5 minutes left. And Phoenix take another giant step towards the Western Conference Final. More late extra time magic.
We spoke about this game being won by a moment of magic, and this is exactly this. Look at this. He opens his body. I think he's going to bury this into the far corner of his right foot. Drags it back onto his left foot. Absolutely hammers this home down the central. Gives the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. And this could potentially be the winning goal for Phoenix. In a game where they haven't created too many chances, they've created the one that matters most, the one that's giving them the lead.
And just like it was in 2018, it's 2-1 to Phoenix in Irvine. There's still time, but Juan Guerra's group has stunned another California crowd on the road in the playoffs.
You called it, Sean. You said there was too much time left to make a guess about whether it's going to penalties, and Coelho has absolutely come up with a spoiler on that shot. He's given Phoenix the go-ahead goal with just 3.5 minutes remaining of extra time. For the second game in a row, Phoenix are about to win it.
It's Emil Cuejo's second goal of the season, the other against Orange County.
Oh.
You can't make this up. Looks like Orange County are going to make an alteration here. Alex Villanueva is going to come on here. Ryan Dogman. And looked like I may have seen Brent Richards come on as well. Yes, one of the members of that 2021 team for Orange County.
You can see the intent here from Orange County. They've got everybody lined up at the halfway line, ready to send this ball forward and see if they can create anything in the remaining maybe 4 or 5 minutes of this game. There's probably going to be a little additional time given the the way substitutions have held up the game right now.
And again, extra time, you do get an extra change. So Daniel Crutzen is going to come on as well for Phoenix. And now for Orange County, they are going to have to pull it out of the fire here in the last few minutes, plus potentially some stoppage time, if they're even going to get it to penalties. But I must say, we talked about this stat earlier. This season, as Crutzen comes on for Trejo, Phoenix, in 15 games, has scored multiple goals this season. They've never lost. 12 wins and 3 draws. This could be another, and it could send them to Sacramento.
And one of the keys to the game tonight for Phoenix was scoring the first goal. When they've scored the first goal, they've gone on to win on most occasions.
Phoenix come the other way with the ball again. Gallardo is to the left. Zambrano's through the middle. Gallardo gets into the penalty area. He plays it square. Uzo can seal it! And he skies it.
Uzo finds himself in some great positions, but just needs to work on that composure to finish off all those opportunities, because that was a fantastic opportunity to write his name into history books and get himself on the score sheet there.
Quajo trying to add on to his legend tonight. He's dispossessed. Formella, who was the saver of the day in San Diego. Orange County have a minute plus stoppage time to save themselves and send us to penalties. Milanolowski might be playing his final seconds in the USL Championship. Zambrano clears only as far as Fox, who doesn't win the header, and Gallardo can come the other way for Phoenix. Phoenix smells some blood in the water here. Can they finish the job? Gallardo out wide. Derek Formella into the final minute of extra time. Formella! Saved by Shuttler, but Phoenix won't care too much. They get a corner. And now for Orange County, it comes down to how much stoppage time there will be left.
I think the key to this game, Sean, has been the substitutions. If you look at the connection for the goal, it's Gallardo down the left side, cuts it back to Quazo. Having those fresh legs, those players come in, really had a positive impact for Phoenix in these closing stages. And I just felt like Orange County weren't able to make the same changes with their substitutions.
Orange County have 3 added minutes left to find an equalizing goal, or Phoenix is going to head to Sacramento. Out of play, it stays with Phoenix deep into the corner.
We spoke about head coaches making their money in these moments, and the substitutions from Wangera has been the difference maker for Phoenix in this game.
Well, a moment of quality was needed, and it was the fresh legs of Emile Quajo who provides it. And he's only scored 2 goals this season. He's picked great times to score them, and they've both come at Orange County's expense.
And you have to give Quajo credit. The ability in the final third to use both feet. He shapes up like he's about to bend it in the far corner of his right. Fakes everybody, chops it back onto his left, and then just releases the hammer straight down the center, giving the goalkeeper no chance.
Can Orange County revive their playoff hopes in the final minutes of extra time? Brian Olowski for Fox. Jamison, the substitute. He curls it in. Rios Novo collects.
He won't be in a rush to get up here. He'll let the clock tick as much as he can without the referee giving him a card.
Now remember, last season, Phoenix rarely, in a rare season, they completely missed out on the playoffs. Juan Guerra, who took over towards the end of last season, said a lot of changes had to be made. 21 were made, in fact.
Keeper's definitely pushing it a lot here. That's 14 seconds I counted there he's taken to take that, and referee, and he's just allowed 6.
And now Phoenix are seconds away from going back to the Western Conference Final. Unless Orange County can find a late moment of brilliance themselves. It's going to be chested down into the penalty area. Fox tries to shoot, it's blocked. And it's going to go out for a late Orange County corner in the final seconds of extra time. The champ rises to its feet. Milanilowski is going to take it. Can Orange County pull it back from the fire? The goalkeeper is in his Welsh shuttler. Everybody misses it. Gallardo clears. Final seconds of the match. There's still maybe one more chance left, but Orange County can't waste any time. Ball is sent ahead by Nakeem. Over to the far side. It's headed towards the edge of the penalty area. Formella gets his head to it. And the whistle goes! The game is over! Phoenix Rising have punched their ticket to Sacramento for the Western Conference Final. They've done it again in Irvine, California. They knock out Orange County in extra time. Emil Cuejo is the hero for the men of Arizona, and they will play Sac Republic for a place in the USL Championship Final. Two incredible Cali Road wins for Phoenix.
What a game. Two fantastic teams going head-to-head. We saw everything tonight. We saw flair, we saw goals, we saw fantastic defensive displays. But as we said, I think the substitutions from Juan Guerra there towards the end of the game made a big difference. The connection between Gallardo and Cuello was what ended up being the differentiating moment in this game.
It feels like 2018 all over again for Phoenix. The fans haven't stormed the field this time, but it's another gigantic road win for Phoenix, and it's all because of the late magic from Emil Cuejo in extra time.
Cuejo started the play, playing it wide to Gallardo, carries on his run to the box, receives it back, looks like he's going to open his hips to bend this into the far corner, chops the defender, slams it through the center of the goal with his left foot, gives the goalkeeper no chance. The winning goal that sends Phoenix into the Western Conference Finals.
Another playoff classic in a season full of USL Championship playoff classics. It's just been another remarkable day in the playoffs in the USL Championship. But it must be said, Chris, it's heartbreak late for Orange County, and it's the end of Milanilowski's incredible short stint in the USL Championship as well. But we spare a thought for Orange County, an incredible recovery during the regular season. They get to this round, but Phoenix break their hearts in extra time.
Yeah, I think they leave the field with an incredible amount of respect, both as a team and as individuals. As you mentioned, Milanilowski, we're going to miss watching him, but the defensive display and the run of form that Orange County were able to put on in the second half of the season, phenomenal. They deserve to be in the playoffs. Heartbreak. One team has to advance, one team has to go out, and unfortunately it's Orange County tonight. Phoenix now have to pick themselves up pretty quickly to go and play Sacramento, who are the team to beat right now if you're going to win the championship.
No question about that. It's going to be Charleston and Louisville in the East. It's going to be Sac Republic and Phoenix in the West. We get a chance to look back at the full-time match stats here. It ended up being even shots on target throughout the 120 minutes. Orange County had 9 more shots in total than Phoenix, but in the end, someone needed to step up, and Emil Cuejo is the man to punch Phoenix's ticket to the Californian capital.
Yeah, I think Orange County have themselves to blame. 16 shots and only 3 on target. We'd spoken to Morten Carlson about only scoring 1 goal in so many games in the build-up to this fixture, and if he needed to score multiple goals in order to advance. And again tonight, they were only able to convert 1 chance, and it wasn't enough to carry them forward.
Here's the updated playoff bracket. Phoenix have now taken down 2 of California's best. They have a 3rd in the Western Conference Final, and it's the best of the bunch in Sac Republic. And then, of course, Charleston will play Louisville in the East.
Yeah, Juan Guerra said this is a team that doesn't quit, and I think we saw that again tonight. 120 minutes, they went all the way through to the end, got the winning goal. They're still alive.
Hasn't been very often that Phoenix have been looked at as the underdogs in the USL Championship, but they are making that kind of Cinderella run in these USL Championship playoffs, and the traveling supporters from Phoenix, Arizona are very much enjoying themselves in Irvine once again. And a tremendous playoff night in the USL Championship culminates with Phoenix punching its ticket to Sacramento. We will still have a chance to recap this game when we come back, but another memorable night in the USL Championship comes to a close. Phoenix pull off a 2nd consecutive road upset. They knock out Orange County, and they are moving on to the Western Conference Final. Another incredible night in the USL Championship. More late drama in the USL Championship. We wouldn't have it any other way.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.